It's one of the oldest rivalries in football, going back to 1934. The Redskins and the Eagles. Washington at 7-7, Philadelphia at 6-8. The Redskins can win the NFC East with a victory tonight in Philly. Washington has won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Philadelphia will receive a special Saturday night edition of Thursday Night Football. Dustin Hopkins will kick it off. Josh Huff is the deep man for Philadelphia. Washington's last playoff appearance, 2012. We're underway from the city of brotherly love. This one rolls into the end zone, a touchback. Philadelphia will have it at the 20-yard line. Sam Bradford, now in his 6th year in the NFL, the closest thing he's come to a game of this magnitude, Trent, you have to go back to his rookie year. St. Louis played Seattle with a chance to win the NFC West title. Final week of the season, they lost the game 16-6.
Well, you just have to like his fortitude, Ian, just the way that he's worked through these injuries. He's getting himself into a position to where he's healthy now. Tonight he has the opportunity to put the Eagles in position for the division. Washington opens up in the nickel. Play fake. Bradford has the time. He throws underneath. Aguilar, the rookie out of USC, with a big gain on the first play from scrimmage. 18 yards. It's been a quiet first season for Aguilar. Well, and Aguilar is in one-on-one on the outside, and as he is able to make this catch and turn to the outside, losing the footing, is Breland. It's a give for Matthews, not much there. Picks up the yard. Aguilar actually had 3 catches for 64 yards in the first meeting. So no doubt Philadelphia has seen something in the matchup with Aguilar. Mason Foster with a hit on Matthews at 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. We know about the pace from Philadelphia. Fastest pace in the NFL. They average 22.73 seconds in between plays. And a quick hitter. Bradford connecting underneath to Zach Ertz for 5 yards. 54th catch of the season for Ertz. Hit once again by the linebacker Mason Foster. Well, I'm getting back to the tempo and the pace of play that the Eagles play it. That can be good or bad. If you can catch the defense on their heels, you can take advantage of it. Also, if you're not able to convert third downs, then that works against your defense as far as time of possession. It's a shotgun on a 3rd and 4 from Bradford. Steps up, throws into the crowd. It's caught by Matthews. First down, Eagles. 11-yard pickup. Jordan Matthews in his 2nd year in the league. 73 catches now for Matthews on the season. Matthews just working across the field from right to left. You see a lot of that out of this Eagles offense. You have a lot of crossing routes and underneath routes with some choices up the field, but Bradford always has an outlet with an underneath receiver. He is 3 of 3 so far. Bradford for 34 yards. Motion man is Aguilar. Kenyon Barner is in. Take the handoff. Bradford over the middle. High throw. Ertz has got it. And Philadelphia is moving the football. On its first possession of the night, Will Compton with a tackle. Ertz is moving from left to right. Bradford with the play fake. Ertz is lucky to get up in the air and make that catch. Goldson's in position behind him for the interception if he doesn't come up with it. And a flag down. Walt Coleman, veteran referee, with us tonight here in Philadelphia. Chip Kelly in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Eagles.
Encroachment, number 64. Okay. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Kedrick Golston called on the encroachment. Jay Gruden, 2nd year as head coach. His team went 4-12 in his first season. Winning on the road has been a chore for Washington. 1-5 this season, averaging just over 18 points per game in those road games. 6th play of the drive, just inside the 25-yard line. It's a 4-receiver set for Philadelphia. Ertz had a big game against Washington last December. Bradford looking for the deep ball. Incomplete. Josh Huff. He was brought down from behind, and a flag is down. Will Blackman, the veteran, in coverage.
He's going to interference. Number 41, defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. Will place the ball at the 1-yard line. First down.
23-yard penalty against Blackman.
Well, Huff is just lined up in the slot, and he has Blackman as he's working up that left sideline. See that right arm come in? Clearly pass interference.
First and goal for Philly up the middle. Ryan Matthews battles his way through for the touchdown. Eagles strike first. Philadelphia makes it look easy.
Well, Lane Johnson collapses that right side of the line, giving Matthews the ability to get into the end zone. It's the type of drive and what Chip Kelly was looking for out of his offense, getting the ball first.
6 plays, 80 yards to open things up for Philadelphia. Caleb Sturgis on for the extra point. 27 out of 29 this season. It's a 7-0 lead for the Eagles. Philadelphia gets it on the ground, but Bradford was perfect on the drive. 4 of 4 for 50 yards. Eagles take the early lead over Washington. Saturday edition is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by Campbell's Chunky Soup. It fills you up right. Well, that's how the Philadelphia offense is supposed to look, Trent, when things are clicking.
Well, that's been the problem all year. They've gotten off to some slow starts this season, not converting points in those first possessions. In the first matchup against the Redskins, they fell behind 13-0 before they got on the board.
Third time they've scored a touchdown on the opening drive this season. Chris Thompson misplayed it. It rolls to the end zone, and the Redskins will have it at the 20-yard line. Washington won the first meeting back in week 4, 23-20. Kirk Cousins led a game-winning 90-yard touchdown drive and culminated with a touchdown throw to Pierre Garçon. Cousins, number 1 in the NFL in completion percentage. 336 completions. That sets a single-season franchise record for Washington. It's been a breakthrough year for Cousins.
Well, my message, if I'm Kirk Cousins coming out on the field, is, guys, listen, we didn't think this was going to be a 0-0 game, so this doesn't change our mindset going into our first series of the game.
Washington looking for its first 3-game winning streak since wrapping up 2012 with 7 straight wins. Wobbly ball may have been tipped at the line. Alfred Morris very tight there with Michael Kendricks at 2nd and 10 for the Redskins.
Just trying to work through the progressions and get to the check down. They like to move Kirk Cousins around. They do some quick dropbacks that get the ball out of his hands, as we just saw. They also like play action pass, roll him outside of the pocket. They like mixing things up for Kirk Cousins and change his landmark from a throwing standpoint.
Nickel package here for Philadelphia. Ed Reynolds is in the game. First-year safety from Stanford. Running play. Morris falls forward for 3. Matt Jones is not available tonight for Washington. Jones dealing with a hip injury. Fletcher Cox, first man there for Philly. So for Jones, talented rookie out of Florida who's had some big performances this season for Washington.
Well, that's been the surprising thing is Alfred Morris, his production from a running standpoint. What they would like to do offensively is get the run game going so they can get to those play action passes. So
the veteran Pierre Thomas, former Saint, former Niner, now in for Washington on a 3rd and 7. First possession of the night for the Redskins. Cousins to the outside. Looking to get to the line, Crowder, and he's short by about half a yard. The stretch was not quite enough. The puncher will come on for Washington, Tress Way. Redskins go 3 and out.
Not the start that Washington wanted. Obviously, Philadelphia going down and getting the score, getting this crowd into it even more. Now, all of a sudden, the Redskins having to punt, giving the Eagles the ball back with potentially good field position.
A punt from Way in his 2nd year out of Oklahoma. The dangerous Darren Sproles waiting for it. Fair catch called for at the 20. It's a 51-yard kick. Philadelphia's got the lead, and they've got the football. 7-0, Eagles in front. Tomorrow at 9 on NFL Network. A sit-down with the key pieces to the Jets offense and how they've come together this season. NFL Game Day morning, that's live tomorrow at 9 only on NFL Network. Strong start for Philadelphia. They've got a 7-0 lead on Washington. Darren Sproles is in. Goes up the middle. Good block from Lane Johnson. That's 8 yards for the diminutive Darren Sproles. Well, for Philadelphia, this quick pace, something that Sam Bradford had to get adjusted to. This is not something he was accustomed to in his previous seasons with St. Louis. Give it again to Sproles. He's got a first down. It's a 3-yard pickup for Sproles, and they'll move the chains. Third time this season that Philadelphia has scored an opening drive touchdown for Chip Kelly. He told us about Bradford that he's gotten better every week. You can't manufacture experience at the quarterback position. You have to play in the system to truly learn it. And he's been impressed with his progress. He's a free agent at the end of the season. Flags come down on a 1st and 10.
Well, and even though he is a veteran there.
Number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's Jason Peters called on the false start.
Well, as a veteran, you still have a learning curve when you're coming into a system. As you said, Ian, Sam Bradford used to the traditional huddle where you're able to talk to your players in between plays to give them keys that you're looking for. Now out of the no huddle where everything's done out in the field, you don't have that same type of communication.
It's Sproles again. Bounced off one tackler and then has to settle for the 2-yard gain. Ricky Jean-Francois with a tackle. So for Bradford, 13th game without him. Mark Sanchez starting the other 2. Philadelphia went 0-2 and only generated 15.5 points per game in those 2 contests. 2nd and 13 now for Philadelphia. Motion man is Aguilar. Bradford in trouble. He is dumped. Back at the 20-yard line, Will Compton. Compton has really impressed this Washington coaching staff. Stepping in, undrafted free agent, used to be on the practice squad. He's emerged as a go-to guy on the defense.
And you can see what the run fake, you're trying, that's what this offense is centered around, getting the run fake, getting that play action to try and bite the defense up there and buy time, but Compton not falling for it and getting the sack.
We have a stoppage here at 9:21 to play in the first. Might have been Bashad Breeland on the Washington side. On the Philadelphia side, Jason Peters is now on the Eagles sideline. So their Pro Bowl left tackle is out. Dennis Kelly is the next man up. It's a 3rd and 20 for Philly. Bradford underneath. Sproles can't break free. Well short of a first down. Sproles brought down by Ryan Kerrigan and company. 10-yard pickup. And it's 4th down for the Eagles.
If you're Bradford, you know you can't hang on to that ball long. With 3rd and a mile, you've got to get the ball out of your hands, not take the needed yardage. Go ahead and get to your check down because the Redskins were dropping deep into coverage.
Jamison Crowder is the return man, waiting for the punt from Donnie Jones. Crowder, the rookie out of Duke. Fair catch called for at the 31-yard line. 38-yard punt. Washington gets the football back with Kirk Cousins leading this Redskins offense. 7-0 lead for Philly at home over Washington. Tonight's Next Gen Stats are brought to you by Go 90. Watch the NFL on the go with Go 90. Go 90 to watch, cut, and share all the awesome. Washington takes over with a 1st and 10 at its own 31-yard line. We talk about how fast the pace is for Philadelphia. Not so for Washington. 3rd slowest pace in the league. Just over 30 seconds between plays. Shotgun. Cousins throws. Open man Pierre Thomas. And the veteran's got a first down with a spin across the 40-yard line for 13 yards. Well, Washington won 4 games last season. They had quarterback drama preseason. Then Gruden made the call that Kirk Cousins would be the full-time starter. Deshaun Jackson goes down in the opener against Miami, nursed that hamstring injury for an extended period of time, but he's come back and he has had a major impact. The road woes, that continues to be an issue. 1-5 away from FedEx. Tom Compton, you'll hear a lot of him tonight with 6 offensive linemen for Washington. Flag is down. Cousins, deep ball. Broken up. Pierre Garcon, the intended receiver, flag thrown back at the 42 of Washington. E.J. Biggers in coverage with D'Amico Ryans.
Illegal formation on the offense. The wide receiver covered up, number 68, who reported eligible. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So back it up for Jay Gruden's squad. Back to the 39-yard line for Washington. They're at the 500 mark for the first time since week 4.
When that last play was a play-action pass, or attempting to be a play-action pass, that's when most of their big throws up the field come, is when they can get that going, get the tempo going with the pass protection.
Shotgun here for Cousins on a 1st and 15. 7:51 mark of the first. Throws it on a line. Jordan Reed. He has developed into one of the most dangerous tight ends in the NFL. It's a first down. E.J. Biggers back there to the tune of 28 yards through the air.
Jordan Reed just isolated on the backside with a skinny post. He sets it up with the outside step. Cousins, you see with the confidence, firing it up that inside edge of the numbers, getting there before the safety can help.
45 of his 75 catches have been for first downs this season. He came in second among tight ends in receptions behind Delaney Walker of Tennessee. Washington in business inside the 35 of Philadelphia. Alfred Morris gets the call. Not a lot of running room. Morris gets stood up as he crosses the 30, and then gang tackling led by Bo Allen, who's in for the injured Benny Logan. 4-yard pickup for Morris. His production is down, but his opportunities are down as well. Morris was the bell cow for many years, but they've worked in Matt Jones more this season.
Well, and you would think they're going to try and establish the run a little bit more tonight. The Eagles come into tonight 30th in the NFL in rush defense, giving up 134 yards a game. So you would think that the Redskins would have some consistency in terms of the number of carries that he'll get tonight.
Morris has not had more than 24 yards rushing in a game on the road this season. 2nd and 6 for Washington. Philadelphia with a 7-0 lead. Jackson looking to get involved. The motion man. Cousins looks for it. Jackson breaks a tackle, walks the tightrope, and he's out of bounds, but he curled it enough for the first down. 7-yard pickup for Jackson, who hears it from the crowd.
Able to duck underneath the tackle, pick up the first down. Just a high-low combination route, easy for Cousins to read, get the ball out of your hands quickly, first down.
He was low-key this week, Jackson, going against his former team. We spoke with him earlier in the week. He said, I didn't want to add any fuel to the fire. Why be selfish? Why criticize Chip Kelly or the organization? Didn't want to take anything away from my teammates. Signs of maturity. Cousins over the middle. Touchdown, Jordan Reed. And it quiets the crowd in Philly. A strike from Cousins. Off the play action, Kirk Cousins delivers to Reed.
And Reed's able to work the touchdown up the seam. Linebacker bites on the play fake. D'Amico Ryans bites up on the play fake, allowing Reed to get behind it. And with the cover 2 safety, where both safeties are wide. Nice catch by Reed, but splitting those safeties for the touchdown.
23 touchdowns this season for Kirk Cousins, 11 interceptions. Flag is down in the end zone. The officials come together with that flag.
Not too shocking in this rivalry that there was a little talking after the touchdown.
After the play is over, personal foul number 27, defense. Personal foul number 88, offense. Those penalties will offset.
So offsetting penalties, Jordan Reed really making a name for himself. And there you go. Jenkins came in, and then Garcon backing up his teammate, and that was the offset. Reed now with 10 touchdowns on the season. 3rd-round draft pick in 2013. His older brother David played wide receiver in the NFL with Baltimore and Indianapolis. Everybody knows what's at stake here, and certainly what happened last week, the Giants in Carolina, officials are on high alert as well. They're not going to let anything get out of control. Extra point is no good. Dustin Hopkins had not missed one this season. A long delay may have iced the kicker. The Redskins have to settle for 6. Hopkins pushed it. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL, and by John Hancock. When life happens, be prepared for it. We are 15 miles away from the Rocky Steps and the statue, Philadelphia Museum of Art. Jordan Reed, what a season he's put together. Over 800 yards receiving, 76 catches, and 10 touchdowns for Reed. Hopkins missing on the extra point, and he'll now kick it off to Josh Huff. Averaging 23.2 yards per return. This is returnable from the 1. Huff looking for blockers. Brought down just across the 15 by Fields on special teams.
You'll see D'Amico Ryans, the linebacker, they bite up on the play fake, but with Crowder in the slot, taking the safety out of it to the top, that leaves Reed in the middle of the field by himself. Once he's able to get behind Cousins, puts an accurate throw over the top. Crowder holding that backside safety allowed that to happen.
Jason Peters will be back in for Philadelphia. Peters left for a play at the end of the last drive. DeMarco Murray is in. Last week, 3 carries for Murray, the NFL's leading rusher in 2014. Murray gets the ball, and nothing there. No gain on the play. All right, let's go back to the extra point. Was there an issue on the snap? Tress Way, the holder, low snap, got it down pretty well from Nick Sundberg.
I don't think you can use that as an excuse. It seemed like he got it down in time. It may have thrown the timing off a little bit, but I thought it was a good spot, good ball.
Murray again. Crosses the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 3. The DeMarco Murray mystery throughout the season. Lack of carries. 1,845 yards last season with Dallas. He had 392 carries last season. Now he's got 178 here in week 16. 3rd and 7 for Philly. Rush is coming. Crawford has to get rid of it. Ryan Kerrigan was in his grill.
We're just trying to get a screen off in the middle of the field.
And the flag is down at the 10.
Intentional grounding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Loss of down. 4th down.
You can see Murray still over here on this side of the screen, so it was away from where the ball was thrown into the ground. That's why that's intentional grounding.
He actually hit Chris Baker, rushing lineman, in the leg. So they lose 10 yards on the play. Bradford upset. And Philadelphia will punt deep in its own territory with the veteran Donnie Jones averaging 47.5 yards per kick. Washington should have excellent field position. Crowder is waiting for it at the 44-yard line with 4:50 to go in the first. Sailing kick from Jones. Backpedaling. Crowder from the 34 makes his move. Lost his footing. Gets drilled at the 39. Raymond on special teams with the lick. 56-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Philadelphia's got a 7-6 lead on Washington first quarter. Tonight's Skycam is being presented by Mazda. Great pictures here at Lincoln Financial Field. Opened up back in 2003. Home field advantage tonight for Philadelphia. The Eagles have a 7-6 lead on Washington. Last week, Redskins scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions in that 35-25 win over Buffalo. First time they've done that since September of 1999. Play fake. Cousins fires it. Deshaun Jackson circling. And Jackson goes down at the 46-yard line as we check in down on the field with Evan Washburn.
Well, and you touched on Deshaun Jackson with a more muted approach this week when it came to the media. Now, ever since getting released from the Eagles back in March of 2014, he has not been shy about offering his opinion of Chip Kelly in this organization. But his point to us was he thought it'd be selfish to talk about Chip Kelly this week. He didn't want to take away from his team, but he said on the field, which we just saw, he's going to let his personality shine, guys.
And Evan Jackson said the team's just trying to ride the wave right now, keep this thing going. Everybody knows what's on the line here. Alfred Morris gets the carry and picks up 4 yards on the play. Now, Jackson and Cousins have developed an instant chemistry. Jackson was very positive in his comments regarding Kirk Cousins. And Trent, I know for you, just from your own experience, finding that line as a leader when you get named the starter, that's a transition for a quarterback.
Well, and that's a big step for him. Once he was named the starter, you initially have those nerves that you're looking over your shoulder and worried about being on the field. Now that he's established himself, he can just lead the way he wants and take control of the huddle.
2nd and 6. Cousins has time. The catch. Breaking a tackle, Reed. Should be enough for a first down as Reed lost his helmet on the play. Michael Kendricks whiffed initially. It's a 6-yard pickup for the 25-year-old from Florida.
Well, getting back to Deshaun Jackson, just the maturity he's shown, and you don't usually use that in the same sentence, Deshaun Jackson and maturity that he's shown, but he does. When you take the approach that he did this week about, you know what, we want to focus on the team and trying to win the NFC East and let my actions on the field speak for what I would say normally during the week.
7 straight completions for Cousins. We are under 3 minutes to go in the first. 7-6 lead for Philadelphia. Washington is threatening. From the 36, running play Morris has a lane and turns it into a 5-yard pickup. Now in his 4th season, Laribas and Sheriff with the blocks up front.
This is a hat on a hat for the Redskins. Eagles have 6 guys along the line of scrimmage. You see the gap that's created, and as a running back, if you can get up to that 2nd level, get up to the linebackers before even being touched, you're allowed to get a big game.
2 Pro Bowls in Alfred Morris's career. A power back, built a very good reputation in his first 3 years as a relentless runner. There's not as many chances this season. 2nd and 5. Cousins knocked away. Cousins was trying to squeeze it into Garcon, and the former Redskin E.J. Biggers in his 7th year in the league there defensively.
Well, and Garcon tends to fall upfield on this slant as a slant receiver. When you have a corner that's going to undercut it like Biggers was able to do, as Garcon is coming up on the slant, he has to make sure he keeps that flat so the angle stays at his advantage. When you fall upfield, that gives room for the corner to cut underneath and knock it away.
It's a 3rd and 5 for Washington from the 31. Chris Thompson is in there. Sets up off to the side of Cousins from the gun. Cousins looking downfield, lets it fly, makes the connection to Reed. First down, Washington inside the 15. Thompson with a good block to give Cousins just enough time for that 19-yard hookup.
Amazing protection by the Redskins, giving him that amount of time to work through 3 progressions as you're going through the defense. Reed having the ability to get open over the middle, but really give the credit to the offensive line and for the pass protection, stepping up, picking up the blitz.
And Trent, Jordan Reed is having a monster first quarter. 4 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown for Reed. Cousins has been near perfect. 1st and 10 from the 12. Cousins over the middle. It's Reed again. Touchdown. Jordan Reed. An explosion in Philly.
Reed one-on-one in the slot. Watsy comes up, gives a hard step to the outside. Not even close. Kendricks trying to cover him in the open field underneath.
Reed was a high school quarterback. He was actually recruited to Florida as a QB. Started as a QB, then was moved to wide receiver. Eventually was moved to tight end. It just shows the kind of versatility he brings. Out of New London, Connecticut.
Well, and you have to put him in the argument with some of the best tight ends. His numbers dictate that and prove that out. You start talking about Gronkowski. Kelsey has moved his way from Kansas City, has moved his way into that argument.
Extra point. This time Hopkins knocks it through. 7 plays, 61 yards. Reed with a pair of touchdowns in the opening quarter. Washington went 3 and out on its first possession. They followed it up with back-to-back touchdowns and a 13-7 lead in Philly. So Jordan Reed now 79 catches on the season, 865 yards, single season franchise record by a tight end in Redskins history. 11 touchdowns for Reed. And his whole persona is growing around the NFL. People are talking about Reed. Malcolm Jenkins came out and told us, look, he's one of the most talented tight ends in the NFL. He runs excellent routes. You try to press him, he gets off the press very well. He's got a basketball background, so he can use that to his advantage like a lot of other successful tight ends that we've seen, including one that you had in Kansas City, Tony Gonzalez.
Well, I think he fits perfect also in this offense. And as you said, Ian, he's getting on the same page with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins knows where he can go for an outlet or as a main receiver, as we've seen several times tonight. So as you fit comfortably into an offense and Gruden's able to figure out how to use you, it's fit well with what Cousins does.
It's a touchback. Philly will have it at the 20. After the postgame, the moment football brought hope to the American hostages in Iran. The Timeline, a new NFL Network original series tonight after the postgame only on NFL Network. What a shift here in this first quarter. The crowd was buzzing. Philadelphia opens up with a touchdown. They hold Washington to a 3 and out. But things have changed dramatically. Back-to-back punts for Chip Kelly's team, now opening up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line and trailing 13-7 with 1 minute to go in the first. Ryan Matthews is in. Bradford, drop ball. It ricocheted off of Huff. Second-year wideout from Oregon took a shot from Quentin Dunbar, but a catchable ball was right there for Huff.
Coming in tonight, the Eagles had the 3rd most drops in the National Football League, and Bradford, that first series, was able to get into a rhythm, this time making an accurate throw, but the drop.
29 drops coming into this game. Shotgun. Give it to Matthews. Plows for 2.5, depending on the spot. Ryan Kerrigan in on that stop for Washington. We're down to 45 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
Well, and that drop was crucial to the timing of it, but just look at the tempo of the offense. That first series, remember how quickly they were going, and they were getting up to the line of scrimmage, getting the play called, had a nice rhythm going to the offense. Now the last couple series hasn't been the case.
Dime package here for Washington. Home team has won the last 4 meetings in this series. This is a 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Bradford lofts it. High separation. Hauled in by Matthews. First down, Philadelphia. A well-thrown ball by Bradford against Will Blackman.
Well, when you're in the slot and you have an outside route and Blackman is lined up as an inside, he's worried about that slant, or he's worried about the inside route. All of a sudden, Matthews recognizes that, is able to fake him to the inside, get to the outside, accurate throw by Bradford.
Washington was forced to use a timeout. They didn't have the right personnel on the field. Philadelphia was looking to move quickly here. 8 seconds left in the first. That was a 43-yard pass play. Bradford to Matthews. Matthews came in 161 yards away from 1,000 yards on the season. He's got 2 catches for 54 yards.
And that's what that up-tempo offense can do. You get a big play up the field. You catch the defense trying to change personnel. Force the Redskins to use that timeout.
So we talk about the pace of Philadelphia. Eagles were just about ready to go, and they're trying to mix and match defensively Washington, and they use the timeout. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Darren Sproles is in. From the gun, Bradford gives it to Sproles. Stutter step move, picks up 2, and that'll do it in this opening quarter. Baker and Kerrigan combined to bring down Sproles. Second quarter action is coming up, 13-7. Washington in front. We'll return to Philly after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football, Saturday edition. Start of the second quarter in Philadelphia. Washington leading the NFC East at 7-7. Eagles are 6-8. A win tonight for the Redskins, and they clinch the division. A loss would be damaging because Philadelphia would only need a win in the final week of the season against the Giants to get the playoff spot. The Giants, though, remain alive with a Philadelphia victory here over Washington tonight. 13-7. Redskins in front. Philadelphia on the move. It's a toss. Sproles moving in the wrong direction. Sniffed out by Mason Foster. The former Buccaneer has been a good standout player for this Washington defense. He and Will Compton have really stepped forward.
Well, when you see that type of pressure and it's an outside run as an Eagles offense, you want to come down. You want to get the block down. That way you're able to get around the edge. But they weren't able to get that accomplished as Foster was able to rip through and get to the backfield.
This is the first year Philadelphia will not have a winning record under Chip Kelly. 10-6 first two seasons. Bradford thrown down at the 45 with a flag at the 49. Preston Smith grabbing hold and tossing Bradford.
Holding, number 71, offense. That penalties decline. Fourth down.
And it's fourth down for Philly. This drive stalls in Washington territory.
Jason Peters just getting beat off the edge. To make it just as worse, he gets the holding call.
Donnie Jones punting it. Jamison Crowder is deep. Crowder backpedals. Fair catch called for at the 6. They'll officially mark him down at the 7-yard line. 38-yard punt. Remember, Philadelphia was in field goal range, and that drive moved in the wrong direction. Jordan Reed, huge first quarter for the Redskins.
He's been able to create open spaces, isolated on the outside. He gets one-on-one. He's able to win on the skinny post, and he splits down through the middle after the play action. Now for the last touchdown, or his second touchdown, once again isolated one-on-one with the linebacker. Eagles are going to have to change up the way. They're either going to have to bang him off the line of scrimmage. You want to get physical with him and not let him get off clean into his route as the Skins hurry up to the line here trying to catch the Eagles.
Last week he had 7 catches for 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Drilled backwards on the play. Cousins hit by Bo Allen. A loss of 2.
Yeah, all they did was trick themselves. They tried hustling up to the line to catch the Eagles and get them off guard. All of a sudden, with the center snapping the ball right away, Cousins is stuck. Lucky to get the ball back, but none of the other offensive linemen move, so it ends up being a loss.
We'll call it a 2nd and 13 now for Washington, deep in its own territory. 13-7 lead for the Redskins. Just underway in the second quarter. Ian Eagle, Trent Green, Evan Washburn, Mike Carey, and the rest of our NFL Network crew tonight. Cousins out of his own end zone. Fires to Pierre Garçon in a modest gain on 2nd and long. 4-yard pickup. Malcolm Jenkins, the safety over there defensively for Philadelphia.
And that's a play where you have a ball you can get out of your hands quickly. You don't want to hang on to it, especially back in your own end zone. So make it safe, give you some space.
For the first 7 games, the Eagles defense forced 19 turnovers. That was the most in the NFL. Over the last 7, just 6 takeaways. Jalen Watkins is in for Philly. This is a 3rd and 9. Cousins straight back. Cousins soft toss. Hauled in at the 10, but nowhere for Garçon to go. Washington will punt after the 2-yard pickup. Watkins riding down Garçon on the play.
Once again, the Redskins giving Cousins plenty of time, picking up the blitz, just one-on-one blocking across the board, 5-on-5. No penetration for the Eagles defensively, but with the good tackle preventing the first down.
Darren Sproles has 2 punt returns for touchdowns this season. Tress Way high in the air. Sproles is on the other side. This is Barner. Tripped up. Kenyon Barner loses the football, but he's ruled down. It's a 49-yard punt and a loss of 1 on the return. He got tripped up on the play. Clearly the ball came out after he was down. Philadelphia will have the football. 13-7 Washington. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Verizon. Watch live local and primetime games on NFL Mobile, included only on Verizon. And by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. Second quarter action and some questions. Where did Barner come from to field that punt? Walt Coleman has been on both sidelines. He had a long chat with Gruden. Now he's talking to Kelly. Take another look.
Kenyon Barner, you'll see him come off the sideline right here. He runs off, but Sproles is over here running the other way. So this is something that was set up by the Eagles. This is trying to be a surprise thing. You go back a couple years, what Jeff Fisher did in St. Louis, it's something very similar where Sproles is running one way, Barner comes off the sideline to make the catch.
Illegal substitution on the receiving team. The receiver came in at the last minute and did not get inside the numbers. That penalty's declined. First down, Philadelphia.
That was a whole lot of nothing as both sides were taking a look at it. It's declined, so the 49-yard punt will stand.
Well, and the difference is when St. Louis ran it a couple years ago, the guys were already on the field. It was a peel-off by one of the blockers. Walt described that very well by saying that Barner wasn't on the field or inside the numbers before that ball was snapped.
So the line of scrimmage is the 39 of Philadelphia, trailing Washington 13-7. Bradford tosses to Murray. Murray with a flag down. Murray comes up short of the first down as he crossed the 45. 8-yard gain, penalty marker at the 38.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 65 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, it's Lane Johnson. And that 8-yard gain is nullified.
Well, those are the things as a play caller, as a head coach, will just drive you crazy because as a first play, you're trying to get some tempo going, trying to get some rhythm. You get a nice 9-yard gain. All of a sudden, a legal formation brings you back. Now you're 1st and 15.
First 2 years under Chip Kelly, Philadelphia number 2 in the NFL in total offense, number 2 in scoring. Now they're middle of the pack. Spin move by Murray, another penalty marker down back at the 22.
Full start, number 64, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And it's the starting right guard, Matt Tobin, called on the false start. 4 penalties costing the Eagles 25 yards. Washington has been called for 3 penalties for 33 yards. All of the Philadelphia penalties have been on offense.
Well, and Philadelphia's had 3 plays in a row with penalty flags. So
line of scrimmage is now the 29 for Philly. Bradford looking, darts one to Murray. Murray breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, and he's bottled up short of the 40-yard line after the catch and run of 10 yards.
Good effort by Murray on the screen pass. Gets out in open space, has one-on-one there for the open field tackle by Dunbar. Not able to bring him down.
So Murray certainly seeing more time here than he did a week ago. 40-17 blowout loss to Arizona. Bradford again to Murray. Same spot. Tries to make a cut, loses his footing on the play, and limited to a 1-yard pickup.
You watch this left foot plant and slides out. Not able to make the cut. Rained in the area yesterday.
5 receiver set. Sproles sets up in the slot. Bradford, deep ball, separation, too high. Zach Ertz had nobody in front of him. A breakdown defensively for Washington, and the Eagles unable to take advantage. Bradford took a shot on the play from Compton.
Well, and the rookie Dunbar gets caught looking back into the backfield. Allows Ertz to go down the left sideline. That incompletion is due to the pressure, Ian. The amount of pressure the Redskins were able to put on Bradford that time didn't allow him the ability to make an accurate throw.
4 straight punts now for Philadelphia. Donnie Jones kicking it to Crowder. And once again, Washington will be deep in its own territory after the 53-yard punt. We've got 10-12 to go, first half in Philadelphia. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award, presented by Nationwide, has a long history of honoring players who have significantly impacted both the game and their communities. Each NFL team nominates one player for the award. 3 finalists will be announced in January, with the winner being announced at the NFL Honors Award Show February 6th on CBS. This year's nominee for Washington, Ryan Kerrigan. For Philadelphia, Connor Barwin. Kerrigan has worked in the D.C. area to help provide children who are battling serious illness and their families with resources and support. Barwin founded the Make the World Better Foundation, which builds and rehabs parks to provide safe and fun spaces for children. Cousins on time. Pierre Garçon on the receiving end. 15 yards and a first down.
The last play, you're going to see Dunbar down here, and you can see right here, you got D'Angelo Hall is pointing to him to say, you've got locked up on this, but you're going to see the safety roll over the top. So there's just miscommunication. They're rolling to one side to help out with double coverage, but there was obviously between Hall and Dunbar, they weren't on the same page. They got lucky that they overthrew the pass.
First and 10 at the 23. Running play for Pierre Thomas. Thomas keeps the legs turning, met by Fletcher Cox. It's a 3-yard pickup as Cox combines with Cedric Thornton on the play. Let's go downstairs, check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just a little bit of rain starting to fall here, very light. And you mentioned this field was covered through the rain all this week, but I've already seen at least one player change out their cleats. It's still a very damp field, and footing is something to keep an eye on.
Temperature's very comfortable, and that's been the case throughout the Northeast, hovering around 50 degrees. This is late December, week 16 in the NFL. 2nd and 7 now for Washington. Cousins steps up. Cousins in trouble. Devoured. Fletcher Cox, the Pro Bowler.
Fletcher Cox coming off the right side. That was the one guy that Cousins had talked about, is the amount of pressure that Fletcher Cox has been able to put on opposing quarterbacks, and Redskins have done a good job through most of the night, but not that time.
3rd and 14. Cousins rifles it sideline, incomplete, with a flag down at the 11. Pierre Garçon matched up with the rookie Eric Rowe on the play.
Holding, number 76, offense, penalties decline, 4th down.
Morgan Moses called on the hold. It's declined. Moses was a question mark to play because of an ankle sprain. He and Laribis had missed some practice time during the week. They're both in there. This game started with all offense. Since then, it's been all defense. Tressway, the punt. Darren Sproles moving forward, and momentum carries him out of bounds right around the 42-yard line. It's a 39-yard punt for Way. Philadelphia has generated 117 yards of offense. They need more to make up the difference on the scoreboard.
Sam Bradford has put up some decent numbers tonight, 8 of 11 for 114 yards, but he's been under constant pressure as Compton comes with a linebacker blitz and gets pressure. Here he throws it away because of miscommunication, and then the sack by Preston Smith, and then the last play having Ertz open down the sideline but not able to step into the throw and gets the incompletion.
Well, so far, Cousins 12 of 15, 149 yards, the 2 touchdowns to Reed. Bradford 8 of 11 for 114 yards. We asked Bradford about playing for Chip Kelly. He said it's really been a blast playing for an offensive-minded head coach. He's really smart. He sits in on the quarterback meetings. You always walk away with some football nuggets after sitting down with Chip. Ryan Matthews is met by Kyshawn Jarrett, the rookie out of Virginia Tech, and no gain on the play for Matthews.
Well, Jarrett just reading that play, working to that outside left and not having anybody protecting him. It was more of a read blitz by him, just seeing that it was going to be a handoff, knows that Bradford's not going to keep it and take off and run around the edge, able to get to the backfield.
So we saw Murray on the previous possession. Now it's Matthews, the featured back. Double tight end set, fake the handoff, Bradford over the middle. He's got his man. Once again, it's Ertz. Last year, Ertz went for 15 catches, 115 yards in a game against Washington in December.
You could see the pressure that Kerrigan was putting on Bradford, him not even realizing that Kerrigan was right there to knock the ball out. Bradford making an accurate throw to pick up the first down.
Philadelphia at the 40 of Washington. Play fake. Again, it's open man. Ball pops loose. Selleck with the catch and the fumble, but he recovers it. Bradford using the tight ends. That one covers 18 yards.
And a fumble recovered by the
Linebackers
offense.
bite up on the
First
fake.
down.
Both Foster and Compton bite up on that.
He got popped on the play by Hall. An official went down just before the snap, and flags down as well. Philadelphia fans voicing displeasure.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They're generally not shy about expressing their feelings here, Ian.
Are you going to bring up booing Santa Claus? Are you bringing that up or no?
Snowballs, booing Santa Claus, making fun of the official for tripping and falling down. They're going to be on everybody.
So now a 1st and 15. Shotgun for Bradford. Play action. Bradford. Deep ball. End zone. Dropped. Aguilar.
Bashaud Breeland thinks that he's going to have the interception. Aguilar can't come up with it as Breeland reaches back to try and get the interception. He doesn't get a fingertip on it, so if you're thinking he tipped the ball and that's what caused the drop, that's not the case.
2nd and 15. Dump it off. Ryan Matthews hit by Mason Foster on the play. It's an 11-yard pickup for Philadelphia.
Well, and Bradford picking himself up off the ground one more time as he's been continually under pressure.
They got to Bradford 5 times in the first meeting. A Washington victory at home, 23-20 back in week 4. It's a 3rd and 4 now for the Eagles. They trail 13-7. Bradford out of the gun. Steps up. Bradford on the move. Incomplete. Throwing it into a tight window. Breeland was back there again defensively for Washington. It's 4th down.
Well, and the delay that Bradford had in stopping and in stepping up in the pocket trying to buy time, that allows Breeland to drive on the ball. It's just a dig route on the right side, so the timing was thrown off. By the time that Bradford's able to set his feet and make the throw, Breeland was able to drive on it and almost came up with the interception.
It's a 34-yard field goal attempt for Caleb Sturgis. Former Miami Dolphin knocks it through to cut into the Washington lead. 13-10 Redskins. 5:56 to go. First half at Lincoln Financial Field. A look at next-gen stats presented by Go90. Washington Redskins will use 6 or more offensive linemen 12.9% of the time. That's second in the NFL behind Tampa Bay. So far tonight, it's been 25% where Tom Compton has been the extra offensive lineman for the Redskins.
Well, and that's really come into play more from a pass protection standpoint, giving Kirk Cousins more time, because from a rushing standpoint, they only have 19 yards rushing.
Caleb Sturgis kicks it off. Return man is Rashad Ross, weaving through the middle with a flag down. He gets dropped at the 25-yard line. Penalty markers at the 16.
Holding, 96. Offense, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, Coleman's been a busy man. The run to the playoffs is on, and NFL Network is your home for the most playoff coverage anywhere, every day, all the way through Super Bowl 50. NFL Network, your home for the NFL playoffs. So back it up to the 8-yard line. Washington with a 13-10 lead over Philadelphia. The Redskins, if they get a win tonight, they win the NFC East. With a win for Philadelphia, the Eagles would remain alive and would just need a victory next week over the Giants to clinch the division. Trying to spin, Alfred Morris cannot get away from Cedric Thornton. This is the 3rd straight drive where Washington has opened up inside its own 10-yard line.
Thornton just pushing Josh Laribas back into the backfield. He's able to shed that block. come up with the tackle.
One-yard pickup at 2nd and 9. We approach 5 minutes to go in this first half. Pierre Thomas is in. Motion man is Crowder. Cousins with a dump off. Getting drilled on the play. Thomas. And they'll whistle him down. Forward progress. Connor Barwin was all over it. It's a loss of 1.
Cousins lucky to get rid of that ball as the pressure was closing in around him. Barwin coming up. Hear the crowd getting into it now. Ian, 3rd and long.
And Connor Barwin said flat out, it's a playoff game for the Eagles. It's that simple. If that's not enough incentive, I don't know what is. He said they can right a lot of wrongs if they earn a playoff spot. Everything is wiped clean if you get into the dance. Dime package on a 3rd and long. Cousins in trouble. Tosses it away. Fletcher Cox was right in the face of Kirk Cousins in his own end zone.
The Eagles that time taking the chance of going man-to-man coverage, only leaving one safety in the middle of the field, going man-to-man underneath with a robber, this extra safety down below. Cousins not able to find anyone winning their one-on-one matchups and having to get rid of it before taking the hit from Fletcher Cox.
Cousins said that Cox has been J.J. Watt-like in his play this season. Low punt, Tress Way. It does take a Washington roll. It'll settle in at the 38-yard line of Philadelphia. 54-yard punt for Way. Washington trying to write a script here, going worst to first. Last season, 4-12, with Jay Gruden at the helm for the first time as a head coach in the NFL. Last 5 teams to go, worst to first. Philadelphia did it. Washington did it 2011, 2012. The Broncos did it recently. Kansas City, New Orleans. It's not that rare now in the NFL because of free agency, the draft. You can overhaul your roster and improve quickly based on strength of schedule, taking advantage of that as well.
Well, that's what I asked Jay Gruden about, is how did that happen? How did that take place? And he said it was a culture change within the locker room.
Crawford tosses to Zach Ertz. Ertz loses the ball. Scooped up by Golson on the play. And Golson is down inside the 35. Washington takes over. We saw Selleck cough it up earlier. He recovered it. This time it's Ertz.
Ertz on the sit-down route, just pushing up to the first down depth.
Was he down?
Right knee is down. Watch that right knee before the ball comes out.
It was punched out by Bashaud Breeland. Ball turnovers are reviewed, so they will take a look at it. On the field, it was called a fumble and a recovery for Washington. Back in Philadelphia, they're taking a look at this. Mike Carey, our rules expert, is with us here at Lincoln Financial Field. What'd you see on the play, Mike?
Well, if you look very closely, first the right shin hits, and at that moment, that instant, the ball's still in his hands. So if I'm in the booth, I call this down by contact. The ball comes out just after that happens.
Ruling from Walt Coleman.
After reviewing the play, the really on the field stands. Fumble. Recovered by Washington. First down.
Mike, what do you think the interpretation was from their viewpoint?
Well, from their viewpoint, they hesitate to really overturn the call on the field. But when you freeze it, you make that judgment. The ball is still in his hands. The right shin is down. I like down by contact.
Mike, I said the same thing before going to commercial, so you and I are on the same page. I thought this was down. I didn't think the ball was out in time, and it's good having you in the booth when you agree the same thing, right?
Did you guys agree back in your playing days and officiating days, or not really?
Not all the time.
From the
Trent wasn't a
35.
complainer.
Jamison Crowder with the catch. So Washington has possession. That was a call on the field, and they stick with it after taking a look at the replay. It's a fumble by Zach Ertz, recovered by the Redskins, and now a 2nd and 3 for Washington at the Philadelphia 28.
Well, Ryan, what makes this so important is you have to remember Washington won the toss and deferred, so they get the ball coming out first in the second half. So now they can go in, try and get some points before halftime, and then ultimately get the ball coming out second half.
Ryan Grant goes in motion, running play for Morris. First down as he crosses the 25-yard line. And we'll come up on the 3-minute mark of this second quarter. That's a 5-yard pickup for Alfred Morris, brought down by Kiko Alonso on the play, who has had a quiet season in Philadelphia.
Well, Ryan, you talked about this in the first quarter when you were talking about the tempo of play that Philadelphia likes to play with. They're more up-tempo, get the ball snapped, whereas Washington is more meticulous in terms of their use of the play clock. So this is a perfect opportunity as it's winding down towards halftime. Take your time and use up as much clock as you can.
Cousins gets rid of it, and it's Jordan Reed with the reception. Picks up 4.5 yards. Alonso combines with D'Amico Ryans to bring down the tight end.
Well, first off, the timing's thrown off. The center snaps one time, certain linemen move, certain linemen don't. You can see Cousins is very accurate, getting his shoulders around even though the pressure is coming. That's a tough throw to make when your body is going one direction, falling away, and still being able to make an accurate throw.
What have you thought of Cousins in this first half, Trent?
He's managed things very well. 15-19. He's got the 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's been very diligent with his accuracy up the field and knows when to throw it away when the pressure is collapsing around.
2nd and 5 inside the 20. Step move. Morris plows through the middle. It's a first down. Tom Compton with a block up front. 8-yard gain. And that's going to carry us to the 2-minute warning in this second quarter. Washington's got a 13-10 lead in Philadelphia. Redskins are looking for more. Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football. Coming up, the Lexus halftime report. JB, Dion, Coach Cower on site. They'll have highlights and analysis from the first half. The Lexus halftime report. Washington taking over after the Zach Ertz fumble. 1st and goal for the Redskins. Cousins, fade, end zone. Oh, what a grab. Garcon, but he was out of bounds. In a matchup with Eric Rowe, the veteran winning out, but could not stay in bounds with the catch.
1 foot down.
Ooh. That is tight.
That is close.
Oh, he hit some white.
You can see it from that angle there that he hit some white. I was a little surprised by the call, though, Ian. I thought the Redskins would come out and they would run the ball on first down, see if the Eagles were going to use up some of their timeouts, see if they were going to let the clock wind down. But because of the incompletion, it helped out the Eagles from a time standpoint. 2nd and goal for Washington. Trying to add to the lead. Cousins in the pocket. Cousins hooks a pass underneath. Nearly intercepted by Jenkins. Incomplete. Jamison Crowder, the intended target. Well, now I can say I'm surprised 2 plays in a row that they didn't run the ball to try and use up some of the time, because the more incompletions, not only are you giving them more time, giving the Eagles more time, if you're not able to score, you're letting them keep their timeouts as well.
It's 3rd and goal for Washington.
Eagles look like they're going to bring pressure. Look, you got all man-to-man across the board up here.
Cousins hooks a pass to the end zone, incomplete. Garcon upset. Eric Rowe drawing the assignment. And the field goal unit will come on.
Eagles taking a chance, putting that kind of pressure and going man-to-man with press across the board.
It's a 28-yard field goal for Dustin Hopkins. Missed an extra point in the opening quarter. From 28 yards away, it's good. Washington in front, 16-10 with 1:43 to go in the second quarter.
Some missed opportunities by the Eagles in this first half. Drop passes, wide open receivers that are missed. Another drop pass, this one that would have been a touchdown, and then Ertz with the fumble setting up the last field goal by the Redskins.
But Philadelphia has plenty of time here. 1:43 to work with. We know the pace of play from Chip Kelly's squad. They've turned it over, a couple of drop passes, 5 penalties costing the Eagles 30 yards. They're 6-8. The Eagles had very high expectations for this season. This was the first time Chip Kelly was able to pick the players on his own, the head of football operations. So with that comes added scrutiny as well, and it has not played out the way that Kelly and the Eagles thought it would.
Well, and here's the thing, Ian. So we just showed all the miscues, right? We had the fumble by Ertz. We had the drop touchdown by Aguilar. We've had some other penalties. We've had some craziness. They're 6 points behind with 3 timeouts to go, and how fast these guys snap the ball and they get up on the. They could go down and get a touchdown and have the lead going into halftime, even though this hasn't been the smoothest first half for the Eagles.
Only 12 players remain on the 53-man roster that was on the team before Kelly came on board. Hopkins kicks it off. Will take a knee, and it comes out to the 20-yard line for Philadelphia. Week 16 of the NFL season continues tomorrow. CBS and Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area. That's Sunday afternoon football on Sunday.
You talked to me a little bit ago about Kirk Cousins and the half that he's had and how he's been productive, but Sam Bradford equally as impressive. 12 completions to 7 different receivers, and those 12 completions is for 173 yards, so he's having a good night as well.
Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football here in Philadelphia. 16-10, Washington in front. That ball bounces to Sproles. Incomplete. 1:39 left here in the second quarter.
Well, you know whose fault that is, Ian, right?
Well, that's Bradford. He pointed to himself.
Well, I thought he was going to point up here to me because I just got through complimenting him. 12 completions, 7 different receivers, and Yanks went to the ground to scroll. So I'll take the blame on that.
So you're the mush. You've got the announcer jinx. Bradford. Underneath, he feeds it to Zach Ertz. 7-yard pickup for Philadelphia.
Bradford taking his eyes off of it a little bit and able to bring that ball in and get the ball out of his hands quickly.
On third down, Bradford. Enough for a first down. The ball came out when Darren Sproles went down. It's a clean catch for Philly, and they'll move the chains. The Eagles will use a timeout.
That's what I was going to say. They end up using their first timeout. This isn't like a 2-minute offense like most teams have to change the tempo. This is something that the Eagles do every play.
Philadelphia has 2 timeouts remaining. They've got 1:12 to work with here at the tail end of the first half. You know, who knows what Sam Bradford's going to do at the end of the season, by the way. He was traded to Philadelphia. He didn't choose the Eagles. The Eagles chose him. He's a free agent at the end of the season. Acquired for Nick Foles from St. Louis. Dealt with the torn ACL 2013, torn ACL 2014. Probably the biggest key of all, the fact that he's been able to stay healthy and be productive and be in there week in and week out for Bradford.
Well, and I think that's the biggest question he has to answer is how comfortable is he in this offense, and does he want to stay in it long term?
Drop ball over the middle. It's Ertz.
Well,
Third year out of Stanford, second-round pick. He's got very good hands, but could not corral that one.
Well, and just to finish my thought on that, not only is it Bradford, does he like the Eagles system and does he want to stay here, but it's also the Eagles. Do they think he's the long-term answer? Do you want to make that long-term financial commitment? And now as we get back to action, it's with the 2 timeouts, you have to start utilizing all parts of the field. You have to start taking some chances up the field.
Look out. Bradford tossed down by Preston Smith. Smith shot out of a cannon. It's a loss of 7 on the play.
Well, and Jason Peters getting beat around the edge once again. The 8-time Pro Bowler not giving Bradford time. You can't take a sack in that situation. You'd like to see him get rid of it, but they were trying to push the ball up the field.
And a timeout called by Washington now, taking a peek at the clock and saying, well, why not? 46 seconds left. It's going to be 3rd and 17 here for Philadelphia. Probably should have called the timeout quicker. Coming up, Lexus halftime report. JB is standing by with Dion and Coach Cower. First half highlights and analysis all coming up on the Lexus halftime report. Third and long now for the Eagles. They trail 16-10. 46 seconds remain first half. Bradford's 14 of 21, 184 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. It's a dump ball for Sproles, who can create out in space. Chopped down as he crossed the 35-yard line. Washington will use its final timeout with 40 seconds to play. It's a 12-yard catch and run for Sproles. Jarrett and Goldson collaborate on the hit. So Jay Gruden's squad is going to get the football back, leading by 6, and they'll have the football to start the third quarter.
Well, and I was a little surprised waiting to see what the Redskins were going to do here. They're bringing out Jamison Crowder to return punts, and he's been the one returning punts all year, but I thought maybe they would throw Deshaun Jackson back there, see if they couldn't get a little bit livelier return, get this crowd cranked up a little bit.
Crowder averages just 5.5 yards per return.
And cranked up, I mean negatively.
Oh.
Because, you know.
Well, I mean, Jackson still has some fans.
He's been known to stir the crowd up a little bit, right?
Saw that a few weeks ago, and it worked in a negative fashion. "35-yard punt. Washington takes over with 29 seconds left, and Kirk Cousins will come out. What do you do here if you're the Redskins? You take a knee and just accept where you're at, or you try to push it down the field?
Well, the fact that they use their timeouts tells me that they're going to try and do something. So if you do take it down the middle of the field, if you keep it in bounds, you have to at least get a 20-yard chunk here so you can run up, spike it, and give yourself some time. Otherwise, you have to work the sidelines and get out of bounds. They
are 36 yards away from getting into range for Dustin Hopkins. A long of 52 this season. First down from the 29. No timeouts remaining. 29 seconds to go in this first half. Cousins operates out of the gun. Cousins to the sideline. And there's the chunk you were looking for. Deshaun Jackson on the receiving end. Hit by Ed Reynolds on the play. That's a 22-yard pass play.
Well, and that's just a mistake by the Eagles, allowing the out route to happen. They're playing cover 2 to that side. The corner can drift back. You can drift back all you want. Drift back to the 50-yard line. You know you have help over the top with the safety, but you can't give up the out route. And what happens is you jump the underneath route. You leave that window to get that angle route out of bounds 20 yards up the field.
And now they need just 14 yards to get into field goal range. 20 seconds left. Cousins lets it fly. Hauled in. Garcon. Bang, bang from Washington.
Well, that's 2 plays in a row, giving up that left sideline. See, the ball is secure. There's no wobble to it. Both feet come down in bounds. 25-yard gain by Garcon.
So very much in field goal range now, and they're thinking 6, potentially. Line of scrimmage is the 24. 17 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, now you have to be careful of your Cousins not to take too much of a risk and get the turnover.
Cousins over the middle. Caught by Reed. They have to work quickly, though. Down to 10 seconds left. And a flag is down. Reed lost the football. He went to get it, and Eagle may have touched it. Washington is pointing in Philadelphia's direction.
Delay of game, 26, defense. That 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. First down.
Yeah, Thurman stuck his hand in there and knocked it away from Reed. So 6 seconds remain on the clock. Can they run one play to the end zone quickly here?
You can try and throw a quick back shoulder. You can't snap it and stand there, though.
Yeah, we didn't see a spike from Cousins. Whoa, he is getting very close with Walt Coleman.
He just looked...
Still first down.
Philadelphia will use a timeout. So a lot has happened over the last minute, with Philadelphia forced to punt it, Washington goes down the field quickly. Kirk Cousins, he's trying to get on the same page. Yes, Walt Coleman, you and I are in agreement. Chip Kelly's not going to put his hands on the side of the head of Walt Coleman right now.
I can honestly say I never did that.
No, never?
I didn't. Yeah, you can even, if you want to bring Mike into this, I can say, Mike, I never touched you.
No, you had great hands, and none of them reached me.
Kirk Cousins goes to the shoulders first, so
Yes.
that's okay. And then,
oh, thank you.
yes.
Walt's telling him, he's like, I didn't blow the whistle to start the play, and so Kirk pats him on the head. Yes, I know.
Fully engaged. Thinking about running one
He took
play.
the knee, though. He took the knee.
He did
so
take
now it's
a
going to
knee.
run out.
He did not spike
He
the
didn't
ball.
spike it. He took the knee.
And a flag is down. They have butchered this. I'm not sure. On 2 occasions, Kirk Cousins did not spike the football.
Yeah, that's the end of the half. He took a knee instead of spiking it.
Philadelphia's running off the field. This is bizarre. What's the thought process here? Spike the ball. He had a brain freeze.
Yeah, that was.
The quarterback kneeled down, which made the clock continue to run. The half is over.
That's it. Washington got no points out of that effort.
Well, and he doesn't have to. You know, they were saying, well, you know, he wasn't touched, so he got up and they were going to do it. Well, the fact of the matter is he gave himself up. By giving himself up, it's automatically. You could see him slam the ball into the ground. He knew he messed it up.
Very strange at the end of this first half. Let's send it over to Evan.
Well, Coach, I guess just take us through what happened there to close out the half.
Yeah, we had 6 seconds. We're going to throw a fade to Pierre Garçon, complete or incomplete, and I don't know why Kirk took a knee. I'll have to find out at halftime.
When your offense was at its best, though, what were the factors? Because we seem to see 2 different versions in the first and second.
Yeah, we had bad field position there, and they were playing good defense. We were able to use our play actions when we were successful. And we just got to keep our running game going, keep our composure. We're up 6 at the half. Not the way we want to end it, obviously, but we're in a good spot.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. End of the first half. It ends in a strange fashion here in Philadelphia. Washington's got the lead over the Eagles, 16-10, a win, and they take the NFC East. Lexus Halftime Report is coming up after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football, Saturday edition. Cousins in trouble, devoured. Fletcher Cox, the Pro Bowler. Over the middle, it's Reed again. Touchdown, Jordan Reed. An explosion in Philly. Getting ready for second half action in Philadelphia. The Redskins with a 16-10 lead over the Eagles. Let's check the first half performance moment presented by the Hateful Eight in theaters December 31st. Cousins to Reed, the first of 2 touchdowns for Washington in that first half. Ian Eagle along with Trent Green, Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football. You know, Trent, if you're Washington, you walk away from that first half. You feel good about the performance on the road, but you left 4 points on the field. A missed extra point and then a complete botch at the end of that second quarter with not even getting a field goal attempt off.
Well, and that's the frustrating thing. If you're Washington, you did play such a complete first half, but then I've got to hear from Kirk Cousins what it was he was thinking at the end of that. We heard from Coach Gruden right at the end of the half. They wanted to throw a fade. I think they were more trying to just spike the ball into the ground, and it was one of those situations where Kirk Cousins just lost his train of thought, and by taking the knee, it keeps the clock running and doesn't allow them to get those points.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Gruden's thought on the fade was on the previous play that never got going. That was the play that was whistled dead, and that's when Cousins made contact with Coleman. The reality is they played it so well up until that point. The back-to-back long pass plays to set themselves up, and then maybe got a little greedy, bottom line.
Well, and that's the thing, is you can't let that negative play at the end of the half. The fact is that you've got a 6-point lead. You've got the ball first coming out here in the second half. And really, Kirk Cousins had played such a good first half. The protection was there for him. They'd like to get the running game going a little bit more, but hopefully that doesn't throw off the timing if you're Kirk Cousins.
Ross goes down to one knee. Washington will have it at the 20-yard line with a 16-10 lead. We check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Chip Kelly was willing to admit, yeah, Redskins are giving us a chance to get back in this game. He pointed to turnovers and then the drop passes. 4 drops for the Eagles in that first half. The one obvious one was Nelson Aguilar in the touchdown. He feels like if they clean those things up, they'll be fine. Happy with the defense, but as he put it, everybody has to be better, guys.
Well, in that first half, 245 yards of offense for Washington, 191 for the Eagles. Redskins open up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Morris brought down. Malcolm Jenkins got him down low, and they limit Morris to a 1-yard pickup. We mentioned the yardage, the turnovers, 1 for Philadelphia. The 3 sacks and the penalties, big part of it as well. 6 of them against Philadelphia in that first half, costing them 35 yards. 4 penalties called on Washington.
Yeah, for an offense that you look at the first half and there was some consistency moving the ball, but as you mentioned, Ryan, with the penalties, with some of the drops, both sides of the ball had their bonehead plays, I guess, in the first half.
Here's Cousins stepping up in the pocket, throws. It's complete to Jordan Reed. First down across the 35-yard line. 15-yard pickup. Cousins taking a hit from Connor Barwin, and Reed 8 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Reed has just found an opening in the middle of the field that the Eagles have not yet found an answer for Reed in the middle of the field. To try and match him with linebackers, try and match him with safeties, get double safeties over the tops. He continues to find windows, and Cousins continues to find him.
So a new set of downs for Washington to work with at the Redskins 36. Fake the running play. Cousins lofts it too high for Jordan Reed. Incomplete. Pressure came from Walter Thurman, the safety for Philly.
You're right, Ian. Thurman bringing the pressure off the edge. Cousins has to step up and try and get out, just throwing the ball away instead of taking the big negative play on first down.
So we've talked about if Washington wins the game, it's automatic. They get the playoff spot. Jay Gruden and company will be a part of the postseason. With a loss, then they would need a Minnesota win over the Giants and then a Giants win over Philly in Week 17. Shotgun for Cousins on a 2nd and 10. Cousins thought about a deep ball. Cousins thrown down. He hesitated, and Philadelphia went in attack mode. Fletcher Cox.
Cousins on the drop back, has time. You'd think he's going to throw the deep ball. He winds up like he's going to make it. Deshaun Jackson is on a deep post down the middle of the field. When you double clutch that deep throw and as the pocket's collapsing around you, never ends up a good thing.
That is 9.5 sacks this season for Cox. 3rd and 17. Cousins with a deep drop. Cousins, the soft toss caught by Pierre Thomas, makes one man miss, but brought down as he crossed the 40-yard line by Kiko Alonso, and it's 4th down for Washington after the 12-yard pickup.
Well, and I think Philadelphia is very content with that drop back in coverage, force him to throw the underneath and then rally up and make the tackle.
Darren Sproles standing at his own 15-yard line. Tress Way will punt it. Sproles tries to stay on his feet. He is caught for no gain on the return. 49-yard punt. Everett makes the play on special teams. Philadelphia down by 6 with the ball when we come back. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Lexus. Turn every ride into a thrill ride with the Lexus Performance Line. And by McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast. Back in Philadelphia, Ben Franklin Bridge, and the rain is intensifying here in Philly. Didn't rain today. It was raining hard yesterday into last night. And it's picked up early stages of the 3rd quarter with Washington in front 16-10. Brian Matthews is in. Play action. Bradford steps up. Bradford avoids the rush. Deep downfield. It's caught by Cooper. Riley Cooper is in Washington territory. They rule it incomplete. Will Blackman back there. And Bradford shrugging his shoulders. What happened?
Bradford shows good escapability getting away from Kerrigan. And he steps up and makes this throw to Cooper.
Yeah, I understand the catch, no catch. It continues to be a controversy. It felt like a catch.
I don't know if that ball hit the ground, though. When he rolled over, it doesn't look like he got the ball tucked underneath it.
Cooper is limping. He's taking a look at it on the big screen. 42 yards. Mike Harry, you just watched what we did.
Yes, here's one thing to note. The receiver is going to the ground, and when he's going to the ground, he's got to keep complete control. The ball comes loose, the tip of it hits the ground. That's an automatic incomplete.
Now Chip Kelly just threw the red flag.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
So they'll take a look at this one. Cooper went down. He tried to cradle it. There's the tip of the football hitting the field, as Mike mentioned. We'll find out.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed with an incomplete pass. The receiver, as he went to the ground, did not maintain possession of the ball. The ball hit the ground. Second down. Philadelphia will be charged with their first team timeout.
It was quick, which usually means it's an open and shut case. It didn't take much for Walt Coleman and the crew to analyze this one. As Mike mentioned, the ball does hit the ground there, and it's ruled incomplete. And now you question the challenge from Chip Kelly. He just blew a timeout. Shotgun formation. Bradford will swing it to Matthews. With a head of steam, Matthews crosses the 15. This has been a flag fest. Another penalty marker at the 11:54 mark of the third quarter. 10 penalties combined here. 6 against Philadelphia.
Holding, number 81, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
That is 7 now against the Eagles. Jordan Matthews.
Well, really, in that first quarter, we went through pretty clean. It's really from the second quarter on now. They've all been clumped together here. And as you mentioned, it seems like the majority of these have been going against the Eagles.
So back it up now to the 7-yard line. With Washington in front 16-10. Well, what's at stake here? Redskins win. They take the division. Bradford tosses it away. Ryan Kerrigan put the heat on Sam Bradford.
Kerrigan coming off the edge once again, as he was the previous few snaps. Trying to get a holding call by flopping down like that in the end zone. Officials not calling it.
So now a 3rd and 13 for Philadelphia. Ryan Matthews, the running back. On 3 receiver set. Bradford underneath. Jonathan Krause. Second catch of the season. Will Compton hits him down low, and Philadelphia will punt it after the 7-yard pickup.
And I know the crowd is responding and not real happy with that play. That was a smart decision by Bradford. You try forcing the ball at the field. As we mentioned, the rain's starting to come down a little bit more. You try squeezing into a tight position. You don't want to give the Redskins easy and good field position.
Punt from Donnie Jones. Jamison Crowder from the 42. With a shake and bake move across the 45. And that's where Washington will take over. Maragos on special teams with a hit. Thought your fantasy season was over? It's not. Play for free and you could win a trip to Super Bowl 51. Join today at NFL.com/playoff challenge. Washington Redskins with the lead, 16-10 over the Eagles. 11:03 to go in the third quarter. Kirk Cousins, 20 of 28, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. We asked him, what's been the key this season? He said, just being out there every week has made me better. It's all part of the process. You learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and they've tailored some things for him. He wasn't accustomed to that in his previous stint last year when he got opportunities as the starter. Stutter step move from Morris, met by D'Amico Ryans. Picks up 1 yard on the play. So for Kirk Cousins, first 6 games, completion percentage was hot. It's gotten even better the last 8 games. And the numbers follow. Yardage way up. Touchdowns up. Interceptions down. Kirk Cousins has proven to be a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. We talked about Sam Bradford's situation. Cousins also a free agent at the end of the season.
Well, with Cousins' performance, it's given validation to Coach Jay Gruden's decision to make him the starter at the beginning of the year.
On the outright, Reed muscles his way right to the marker. Walter Thurman got turned around, and Jordan Reed is at a different level right now.
His ability, number one, his hands. So he has great hands, can catch the ball. His athleticism. So in the middle of the field, he's able to win routes, whether it be against linebackers, safeties, and sometimes even corners. And then also his ability to break tackles and move once he's in the open field.
Now Riley Cooper still banged up after the incomplete pass earlier that was challenged by Chip Kelly. He was grabbing at his knee after that play. High snap. Cousins handles it. Cousins, nobody home. 2 Eagles were the closest to it as Cousins took a shot from Fletcher Cox, and we send it to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Riley Cooper is up and available. They were actually working on his left foot and lower leg. He was in a ton of pain, some frustration, punched the bench. But again, he has his helmet. I've been told he is available. We'll see this next series for the Eagles offense.
There was a bobble from Cooper where the ball grazed the ground. And that's why it was ruled incomplete. Now Washington is on the move. Inside the Philadelphia 45. Cousins sets it close. Almost intercepted. Jalen Watkins, the half-brother of Buffalo wideout Sammy Watkins, could have used his half-brother's hands on that play for the pick.
Well, and Reed just doesn't get his head around to go after that football, and it's just, when you jump the route like that, when Watkins jumps the route like that as a receiver, you're always told, don't go behind the defender. You've got to go in front, because if the quarterback's trusting you to go in front, you can't jeopardize the interception. That's almost what happened.
3rd and 10 for Washington. Cousins fires. Pierre Garcon going down and comes up with the grab in front of Eric Rowe. 17 yards on the hookup.
Garcon just on a dig route underneath, able to come up with the catch. You see him keep the ball off the ground. He catches it up on his neck. It never touches the ground. The fact that he traps it up underneath his chin and his shoulder pads. Tremendous catch by Garcon.
Fantastic from Garcon. Now in his 8th year in the NFL, he can make acrobatic catches, and he stepped forward in the absence of Deshaun Jackson during that stretch where Jackson missed 6 games with a hamstring injury. Shotgun formation, outside to Jackson. Now the play is blown up. It's Malcolm Jenkins ranging over for Philadelphia.
Well, and even going back to that last play one more time, the footing that Garcon had coming out of the cut, he slipped. That's what made that catch be so difficult, is he's slipping to the ground. So Evan already talked to us about how the field conditions are getting more and more slippery, and as the rain continues to fall and get heavier, that's something that could come into play, especially in the 4th quarter.
4 catches, 40 yards for Deshaun Jackson. Last week went for 6 catches, 153 yards and a touchdown in that victory over Buffalo. 2nd and 14. Cousins. Rainbow. Too far for Jackson. Jalen Watkins drawing the coverage. And it's 3rd and 14 now for the Redskins.
Well, and this was something that was set up in the first half when you motion the running back all the way to the outside. You have Deshaun that was in the slot one-on-one. Earlier in the game, they wanted to see what the adjustment was going to be by the Eagles defense. They were going to man-to-man, so they came back to it. They dialed it up here in the second half, hoping to hit the big play.
Right now, they'd be looking at a 49-yard field goal attempt. trying to convert on a 3rd and long. Cousins in stride. Cousins hits Pierre Thomas out of bounds. First down, Washington.
The Eagles were in a 2-deep shell, so it was cover 22 man. So 2 deep in zone for Principal, but underneath was all in man coverage. And you can see by the rub route or the inside out that was going on in coverage, Kiko Alonso got stuck to the inside, couldn't get over the top, able to get the first down.
Pick your Pierre. Garcon, Thomas, both come up with big first downs. From the 16. Shotgun for Cousins. Rush is coming. Cousins patient. Hits Garcon. Brought down by Rowe. But a 4-yard completion. We're down to 7:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. Garcon is walking gingerly towards the Washington sideline.
Well, just the courage it takes by Kirk Cousins. He's trying to make the read up the field. He has the outlet underneath in Garcon, but he's under pressure from Vinny Curry coming off of that right side, and he just stands in there till the last minute. He was knocked to the ground, but showing great courage.
10th play of the drive, knocked down. Cousins couldn't loft it. Michael Kendricks was there for Philadelphia.
Redskins have relied heavily on some of these crossing routes and underneath routes. Well, as defenders, if you're not able to get pass pressure initially, you want to read the quarterback's eyes in the throwing motion. If all those underneath throws are getting completed and you're not able to get pressure, go ahead and jump up and knock it down, and that's what the Eagles do.
Washington has only run it 12 times tonight, 39 pass plays for the Redskins. This is a 3rd and 6.
Another 3rd down. The Eagles are showing man-to-man again, so look for a crossing route or a rub route to the slots.
Cousins rifles, end zone, caught, touchdown, Chris Thompson, and the Redskins build on their lead. A dart from Kirk Cousins.
Thompson and Garcon were lined up to Cousins' right. Garcon just doing a corner route to the outside. Thompson just does a quick crossing route. Gets inside of Alonso. See Garcon go to the corner. That takes the coverage out of there. Then it's a matter of just hitting in between Jenkins and Alonso.
Kirk Cousins, his 7th 300-yard game of the season. That's a franchise record. 25 touchdowns now for Cousins, the 2nd for Chris Thompson on the receiving end. Washington was 3 of 3 on 3rd down on that drive. The young running back, Chris Thompson, getting in on the act. And the Washington Redskins are trying to close in on a division title. They've got a 23-10 lead in Philadelphia. Kirk Cousins, 26 of 38, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns for Cousins. One concern, though, for Washington, Deshaun Jackson went back to the locker room. Jackson missed those 6 games because of a hamstring injury he suffered in the season opener against Miami.
Well, now the pressure is going to be on the Eagles and Sam Bradford to respond to the Redskins score.
Huff will take it out of the end zone for Philadelphia. Huff trying to get to the outside. Huff spin move across the 45. Excellent field position for Philadelphia on a good return by Huff. 48 yards to Sean Phillips, tracked them down on special teams. So here's the situation. For Washington, it's very simple. You get a win and you're in the playoffs. For Philadelphia, a win keeps the Eagles alive, and then they could clinch the division title with a victory next week. But the Redskins have the upper hand. 23-10, Washington with 6:47 to go in the 3rd. Bradford over the middle, DeMarco Murray with a catch. He's got a first down into Washington territory across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the catch and run as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Deshaun Jackson went into the locker room due to cramping. His return is questionable. Also, Pierre Garcon just had his left ankle retaped, so the wide receiver's a little banged up right now.
Line of scrimmage is the 39. Handoff to Murray, stumbles for the first down. Goldson got him down low.
The Eagles getting back into some rhythm in terms of their no huddle. Big hole for Murray to run through, runs right through that first arm tackle.
Play fake. Bradford connects with Ertz. 3 plays, 3 first downs. Just like that, Philadelphia is at the Washington 11.
Ertz getting to the inside, very similar to what Reed's doing for the Redskins, is beating that underneath coverage and taking advantage of the open middle of the field. Eagles getting into some rhythm, Ian, like they were in that first quarter, that first series, when they're able to move down the field.
Shotgun for Bradford. Rush is coming. Bradford to the end zone. Incomplete. Michael Lloyd was the intended receiver.
Bradford a little impatient on this, gets the sluggo or the slant and go. Bradford's going to kick himself on that one. He had the time. He wasn't under pressure where he needed to anticipate it and throw it early. Just got impatient.
Working out of the gun on a 2nd and 10. Bradford tosses to the outside. And Ertz gets drilled on the play by D'Angelo Hall. A gain of 3 yards sets up 3rd down for Philadelphia. We come up on the 5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Eagles looking for the quick strike here. Third and 7. A jump. Flags come down. Kerrigan on the left side of the Washington line.
Neutral zone infraction, number 91, defense. Half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down.
Kerrigan on the left side just jumping the gun. Pretty obvious. Lane Johnson, the right tackle, moves just so the officials can stop the play and take the penalty.
On 3rd down, handoff. Murray blasts into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. DeMarco Murray takes it in and cuts into the Washington lead.
Well, 2 plays in a row. Lane Johnson involved. First he moves to get the penalty on Kerrigan. And that time he's able to take Jason Hatcher and just drive him back into the end zone. He and Murray crossing the goal line.
The Eagles go 6 plays, 52 yards in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Extra point from Sturgis. It's 23-17. Washington. The Eagles very much alive. Murray a big part of that drive for Philadelphia, and it culminates with him in the end zone. Close one in the 3rd quarter. Back to Philly in a moment. Back in Philadelphia, well, it's Boxing Day in Canada, which has nothing to do with the sweet science. Well, the Eagles fans are getting into it. Deshaun Jackson is back on the Washington sideline, was dealing with cramps. Remember, Hopkins missed an extra point for Washington. And it would be a 7-point lead right now for the Redskins. 23-17, a touchback. After the postgame, the moment football brought hope to the American hostages in Iran. The Timeline, a new NFL Network original series tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network. Rain continues to fall here in Philly. Washington with the football, 4:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Cousins has already cracked the 300-yard plateau. On 1st down, play action. Cousins has the time. Sideline, it's dropped. Intended receiver Ryan Grant on the play, the 2nd-year wideout from Tulane.
Here's Deshaun Jackson's day for the Redskins, coming back to Philadelphia. 4 catches for 40 yards here, able to make the first guy miss and pick up the 1st down. Then a sit down, finding the zone in the middle of the field. Of course, he's got to get a little talk going. Get a little zone, and he's able to tap his toes, get down out of bounds right before the end of the first half.
Well, Jackson said the system is similar to the one that he was in with Andy Reid and Marty Morningweg when it was in Philadelphia playing the Z wide receiver spot. Pierre Thomas angles out of bounds, and it's a 5-yard pickup. So Jackson has felt comfortable in this system. He's in motion a lot. They'll set him up in the slot. Feels like he can catch defenses off guard based on the fact that he can move around the field.
Well, and he likes the way they utilize him. As you said, Ian, he moves around. If he's isolated on one side, he feels like the defenses can zone in on him. By moving to the slot, by switching right to left, moving around on the field, it gives him the opportunity to create some mismatches where he's been able to hit some big plays.
It's 3rd and 5 for Washington. They were 3 of 3 on 3rd down's last drive. Cousins out of the pocket, on the move, throws over the middle. Incomplete. Intended receiver Garcon with E.J. Biggers there defensively. Washington goes 3 and out with 4:10 to go in the 3rd.
Well, and that was all due to the pressure, and even though they didn't get the sack, they caused Cousins to flush out of the pocket. Garcon was open for the first down, but because Cousins had to flush, that bought time for Biggers to drive on the ball and able to knock it down, preventing the first down.
One from Tress Way. Sproles. Backpedals, muffs it. Jumps on top of it across the 20-yard line. That's where Philadelphia will have it. Everett getting down the field on special teams after a 57-yard kick. Sproles fortunate that there were no special teamers in front of him. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Tostitos Chips and Dips. Bring the party. Philadelphia Art Museum all lit up for the holiday season. These fans, they understand what's on the line here. Philadelphia trying to keep its season alive. They trail 23-17 with 4:01 to go in the 3rd. Washington had the football for 46 seconds. Bradford lost it for a moment. And that ball has been tough to grab. Murray, the intended receiver. Sproles had a problem on the punt return. Bradford had a problem just now, but it was based on Murray knocking it free.
Well, and the Eagles are just lucky to get the ball back and have normal down and distance here. Murray on that play fake knocked it loose, and then Bradford with the late throw.
2nd and 10. That was a bobble by Murray. But Murray keeps on chugging for 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and manageable coming up for Philadelphia. This has been the running attack for the Eagles. Murray, 12 carries. 12 snaps, 43 total yards. Matthews has seen the most snaps with Sproles just behind him. And it was Murray who had the touchdown for Philly.
Well, you have to remember the last series when they drove down the field, it was Murray that was a big part of that. 2 completions, a big carry for 10 yards, and then, of course, as you said, the touchdown.
Oh, he loses the football. Washington scoops it up. D'Angelo Hall. Touchdown, Redskins. DeMarco Murray giveth. DeMarco Murray taketh away.
Well, and this is 3 straight plays that they have problems with the football. The first one, Bradford bobbles it on the fake and then has trouble getting rid of it on the throw. The second one, Bradford has problems with it as well. This time, Murray having problems with the catch. The rain is coming down, but that's just a matter of not looking it in. You see him take his eyes off it and look up at the defense before it actually even hits his fingertips.
These fans are stunned. The ball was kicked as Kelsey was making his way to the outside to block for Murray. And D'Angelo Hall scoops and scores. So we saw the muff on the punt from Sproles. We saw 3 consecutive plays from scrimmage where they had a tough time just holding on to the football. Extra point is good. And Washington has built the lead to 13. The 12-year veteran D'Angelo Hall with a touchdown for the Redskins to extend it. Murray went down to get it. Kelsey knocked it away from him. And Hall in the right place at the right time, taking a look at the big screen. Hall watching himself. Chip Kelly also watching the big screen, and he saw enough.
Well, you have to remember, though, if you're the Eagles, still a lot of time left in this ball game. It hasn't even gotten to the fourth quarter yet. They were just down 13. It seems like about 2.5 minutes ago on the game clock because of how quickly they scored, made it a 6-point game. Washington with a 3 and out. Then all of a sudden the Eagles with the 3 and then the fumble on third down. It's all of a sudden changed real quickly. But they've shown they can score and score quickly to get back in this thing quick.
It does epitomize their season, though.
Yes,
the flashes that you saw at times from Philly where you thought, oh, okay, they've got it going now. Right. They'll find a way to string some wins together. But then shooting themselves in the foot all too often. And a big reason why they're 6-8 here in Week 16.
Well, and we've already pointed out the different miscues they had in the first half, whether it be drop touchdown passes, whether it be a fumble, whether it be several other drops or penalties that caused them. Now in the second half, they've done the same thing. But the fact remains they can score quickly and get back in this thing in a hurry.
Hopkins will kick it off. Josh Huff is waiting for it for Philadelphia. Not going to take it out of the end zone. Eagles will have it at the 20. 3:15 mark of the third. The 164th all-time meeting between the Redskins and the Eagles. The first meeting was 1934, and they were actually the Boston Redskins at the time. The game was held at Fenway Park.
Well, and Murray, after being in there 2 consecutive series, one with the touchdown, one with the fumble, now they've got Sproles in the backfield.
Bradford throws. It's complete to Zach Ertz. To the 25. It's a 5-yard gain for Philadelphia. We've seen Murray. We've seen Matthews. We've seen Sproles. He went back to Murray, and it ended up costing Chip Kelly. Right at the stick, Zach Ertz. But not quite enough. Just short of the first down. Will Compton there along with Deshaun Goldson.
And all this tempo is great if you're able to pick up this first down. Otherwise, you're giving it back to the Skins right away. So this is a very crucial play for the Eagles.
It's third and less than a yard. Fake it to Sproles. Bradford tosses. It's Huff with the catch. And they'll move the chains out across the 35-yard line. 7-yard pickup brought down by Will Blackman.
They're continuing with the fast tempo. Not able to catch the Redskins in a personnel change.
Shotgun. Bradford steps up. Bradford runs and goes down as he got to the 41. 4-yard run for Bradford. Chris Baker provided the pressure. And Bradford looped out of it. Injured Redskin on the play. And it is Baker. Baker moved into the starting lineup with the injury to Stephen Paya. And they're checking on Baker right now.
Here's some of the problems the Eagles had. First, a muffed punt by Sproles, the last drive they had. Then the first down play that was bobbled. Then the third down play that Murray wasn't able to bring in. The scoop and score by Hall for the Redskins, putting them up by 13.
Baker up on his feet. Will walk to the Washington sideline. Two fumbles lost, 6 drop passes, 7 penalties against Philadelphia. This is an offense 2 years ago that was humming, and teams didn't have an answer for it. They scored 474 points last year, a franchise record. Through 14 games this season, 318 points for Philly.
Well, anytime you get defensive coordinators, you give them an off season or a couple of off seasons to make adjustments, figure out how they're going to attack it. Teams have been able to do that.
Ricky Jean-Francois is in for Baker. Bradford looking downfield, flips it out of bounds and complete to Sanchez. Jean-Francois with the heat. Well, for Kelly, the first 2 years, second in points per game, second in total yards, second in rushing yards. The drop-off in 2015, 15th in the top 2 categories, 13th in rushing yards this season. This is now a 3rd and 6 for Philly. We are under 2 minutes to go on the third. 30-17, Washington with the lead. Bradford steps up. He throws incomplete. So says Washington. Zach Ertz. And it is incomplete. 4th down for the Eagles.
Well, and Bradford was under heat once again, taking a shot as he's going to make this throw. Clearly, Ertz doesn't come up with it, not even close.
So another drop for Philadelphia. Donnie Jones will punt it. Ball bounces at the 26. And scooped up by Crowder. Kenyon Barner making the play on special teams. It hit an Eagle as it was ricocheting.
Well, that's why there was no risk of him running up and grabbing the ball, because he touched it first.
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock on NFL Network, a sit-down with the key pieces to the Jets offense and how they've come together this season. NFL Game Day Morning live tomorrow at 9 only on NFL Network. Washington's got a 30-17 lead. We've got 1:39 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Redskins take over. Line of scrimmage is the 18-yard line, where it was touched by the Eagles after the punt.
And still, with this amount of time left offensively, you just need to continue what you've been doing all night. Don't all of a sudden get into a mode where you're going to get conservative and try and use up the clock and force the hand of the Eagles. There's still so much time. You have to just continue to do what you've been doing.
To the ground game. Nothing there for Alfred Morris. He turns what could have been a 1-yard gain into a 3-yard gain. Michael Kendricks makes the play defensively for Philadelphia. For Cousins, we mentioned the 7th 300-yard game of the season for him, franchise record. Another franchise record, he's thrown a touchdown in all 15 games this season. Sonny Jurgensen had the mark 14 games, and that was 1967 when they played 14 games. The Hall of Famer Sonny Jurgensen is here working the radio broadcast for Washington tonight. Cousins against the grain. He hits Ryan Grant for a 1st down. Kirk Cousins playing with confidence. 24 yards on the hookup.
And here's Grant working his way across the field in the zone. The only way he's able to avoid it is because of the protections that Cousins has. You ask, why do they continue to try and run the football? They haven't been effective, only 37 yards rushing the football. They're doing those rushing attempts so they can get to the play action pass, which is what Kirk Cousins is very good at.
15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions over the last 7 games for Cousins, including this one. Morris is stacked up out near midfield. Ryans and Cox in on that stop. It's a 2-yard pickup for Morris. It's the most yards he's had on the ground on the road this season. Alfred Morris has 37 yards rushing.
And even though I said it just a second ago, even though they're not getting the big yardage on the ground, they need to continue to do that to set up the play action pass.
That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Washington in front, 30-17 over the Eagles. They are 1 quarter away from winning the NFC East. Back to Philadelphia after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football, Saturday edition. Tonight's Next Gen Stats are brought to you by Go 90. Watch the NFL on the go with Go 90. Go 90 to watch, cut, and share all the awesome. We start the 4th quarter here in Philadelphia. Washington in front, 30-17. Kirk Cousins, 329 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the way. It's a pitch. Pierre Thomas works it to the outside, and he's out of bounds. Another 1st down for the Redskins. Morgan Moses and Tom Compton pulling for a 9-yard gain. Well, Sean McVay is the offensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins. He's not much older than Kirk Cousins. McVay is 29 years old. Cousins is 27. They have formed a very tight bond, and you might know the name McVay. His grandfather, John McVay, former head coach of the New York Giants and eventually the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers during that stretch when the 49ers were winning Super Bowls. Handed off to Thomas. Makes a cut, gets hit from the side by Connor Barwin. It's a 1-yard pickup. And there is the coach, John McVay, and his grandson, Sean has stepped into a situation and has done an outstanding job calling the plays and really building trust with his quarterback.
Well, not only did Kirk Cousins speak highly of Sean McVay, but so did Jay Gruden. He's been very happy with the relationship those two have built, but also the way that McVay's been able to adapt the offense to the things that Cousins does well.
McVay was the tight ends coach under Shanahan, so Cousins said that helped the transition. Underneath, Thomas, he gets hit hard by Alonso and Kendricks. It is enough for a first down. Cousins said that McVay is a grinder, he's passionate, he's an excellent communicator, and on Fridays they sit down, they go through the entire game plan and just talk it out step by step, and it's helped Cousins translate success to Sundays, or in this case, Saturdays.
Well, and I think when you talk about what his success or lack of success early in the season, that inconsistency, it's number one, getting comfortable as a starter in what your role is, but it's also getting comfortable with the play caller. And I think those sessions on Fridays going through the game plan have helped him tremendously, especially in the second half of the season.
Line of scrimmage is the 34. Give it to Morris. Nothing there. He gets hit behind the line of scrimmage by Bo Allen. In for the injured Benny Logan tonight. That's a loss of 1 on the play. You know, Cousins has said he's a very structured person, but this was the first year he actually mapped it out in 15-minute increments, day by day, exactly how his day would go. And he followed that schedule diligently, day to day, including the 15 minutes he would spend with his wife. It was written into the schedule. 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun. And Washington is using up clock. Redskins taking their time. Cousins steps up, throws to Pierre Thomas, and another catch for the veteran. Kiko Alonso spins him down. It's a first down for Washington, 14 yards.
Once again, Kirk Cousins having plenty of time in the pocket, but watch how he's able to maintain his composure, make an accurate throw, even though the defense is collapsing around him and with hands in his face.
I want to make mention, I think he spent more than 15 minutes with his wife. It was just a 15-minute allotted time that he would make sure that he would spend over the course of that detailed schedule.
You're just trying to make sure he doesn't get in any trouble.
I don't want him in trouble. Right. Truly, I don't want to play a role in that. Ninth play of the drive. And a first down for Washington. Thomas sticks his head down and accelerates inside. Good block from Spencer Long on that left side. And going with 3 tight ends in this formation.
Here you're going to see 6 interior offensive linemen, including that. They bring in Tom Compton. We've mentioned a couple times during this game, they're 2nd in the NFL in using the extra interior offensive lineman. In this case, Tom Compton is the one that comes in. And most of the time that extra lineman's brought in from a pass protection standpoint because you're trying to push the ball up the field. That time it's used in the run game and used effectively.
And this drive is nearing 6 minutes of elapsed time for Washington. On a 2nd and 1 now for the Redskins. Up the middle, Alfred Morris. It's 1st and goal after the 5-yard pickup by Morris. Well, Washington is running the football. Philadelphia knows it's coming, and they can't stop it.
Well, and this is important for the Eagles to keep them out of the end zone. I know every time it is, but you hold them to a field goal here. It's a 16-point game, so it's still a 2-possession game, and you want to make that manageable now with the time in the 4th quarter nearing 10 minutes left in the game.
1st and goal for the Redskins at the 7-yard line. 11th play of the drive.
180! Wait up!
A jump on the right side of that Washington offensive line.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Brandon Sherripp, the rookie out of Iowa. Number 5 pick overall, the Outland Trophy winner. He played left tackle for the Hawkeyes. He's been playing at right guard this season for the Redskins.
When he's a good athlete, he's somebody that can get out in space, whether you're running screens or counters, but has the size to be able to run the inside runs as well.
1st and goal, back it up to the 12. Running play to Morris. Slides down. No gain on the play. Connor Barr went over there defensively for Philly, but the time is ticking away down to 9:34 and counting left in the 4th. 399 total yards for the Washington Redskins. They've held Philadelphia to 277.
Well, now, as you said, Ian, this drive just continues to eat up time, nearing 7.5 minutes on this drive alone.
Last playoff appearance for Washington, 2012. They won the NFC East that year with a record of 10-6. Won their last 7 games to take the division. Cousins takes a shot. Turned around, Deshaun Jackson. Incomplete. Malcolm Jenkins with the assignment for Philadelphia.
Similar to a play we saw in the third quarter where they had the running back to the outside. This time Garçon's to the outside. Jackson in the slot with one-on-one. This is late locating the ball as Cousins tries to put it on his back shoulder.
Trent, that's the first time on this drive that the clock has stopped. Incomplete pass, 9 minutes to play, fourth quarter. 3rd and goal for the Redskins. Big play here for Philadelphia defensively. Cousins, touch on that pass. Oh, he drops it in the bucket. Pierre Garçon, touchdown Redskins. And the Redskins like that.
Garçon with the double move. He's able to get behind, and just as the Eagles had the double move earlier, not able to connect. This time, watch the little stutter and go. Gets by Thurman. Cousins able to connect on yet another touchdown, 4th of the night.
What a night for Kirk Cousins. 13 plays, 82 yards that Cousins engineers. They take 7 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock. They'll go for 2 here. The missed extra point earlier from Dustin Hopkins. This would make it a 21-point lead. Now, at this stage, I'm not sure if you necessarily need the points, but they'll go for it. And the way things have been working, they feel pretty confident. Cousins connects. Jamison Crowder. Crowder waves goodbye to these Philadelphia fans. The Washington Redskins 38, the Philadelphia Eagles 17. 8:55 left in the 4th, and Washington is on the brink of an NFC East division title. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is brought to you by Mazda, driving matters, and by FedEx, how the holidays arrive. 4th quarter action in Philly. The owner of the Washington Redskins, Daniel Snyder, and just trying to stay limber here because his team is 8 minutes and 55 seconds away from a playoff spot. Well, Deshaun Jackson, we asked him about the relationships in Philadelphia. He said he still has a lot of friends on the Eagles, and he spoke to a few of them this week, but once the game starts, that won't be on his mind at all. Right now on his mind, the playoffs. 38-17, Redskins. Let's look at Next Gen Stats presented by Go90. D'Angelo Hall. This was on the Murray fumble. Hall in the right position. Traveled 49 yards to get the football and take it to the end zone. Washington Redskins with a comfortable lead, 8:55 to go in the 4th. Bradford over the middle, called in by Ertz, trying to get to the first down marker. Couldn't get there. 9-yard pickup.
And did you notice in that next gen stat that D'Angelo Hall was able to get 15 yards, 16 miles per hour in a 15-yard span? That's a little faster than
I'm impressed.
You and I get, right?
Are you comparing us again?
Well, I know me.
Going down on the play is Bradford. Ricky Jean-Francois gets to the quarterback. Pressure also from Preston Smith. Jean-Francois was among those that Jay Gruden applauded for the leadership they've provided throughout the season, setting the tone. Jean-Francois was a free agent pickup. Knighton a free agent pickup. Toss him to Sproles. And he's tripped up short of the first down by Deshaun Goldson. Goldson was the other player that came up in conversation with Jay Gruden, and we're sending the punter out with 7:48 to play and the team down by 21. And now a timeout called on a 4th and 2. Breeland is down for Washington. Bashad Breeland, who has stepped in the absence of Chris Culliver. Culliver on injured reserve, torn ACL at a Thanksgiving practice. Breeland, a 4th-round draft pick last year, who started a bunch of games last season for Washington, but they had brought in Culliver as a free agent. Breeland grabbing at the back of his leg. We got a timeout. The night before Super Bowl 50, the NFL salutes the best players and plays of the season in a primetime star-studded football and entertainment special. NFL Honors, Saturday, February 6th, only CBS. So the offense is back on the field for Philadelphia. Chip Kelly thought about it. Shotgun formation for Bradford on a 4th and 2. They've got it. Darren Sproles angles out of bounds. They pick up 4 yards. And the Eagles move the chains. 7:32 remaining in the 4th. Philadelphia was not charged the timeout because of the injury to Breeland. Line of scrimmage is now the 32-yard line for Philly. Bradford put it exactly where it had to be for Ertz. It's a first down catch for 13 yards.
I think the Redskins are content at this point in time to let them complete these little 5, 8, 10-yard passes and let the clock continue to run with the 21-point lead.
11 catches, 106 yards for Ertz. Bradford under some pressure. Going down to get it is Aguilar. Into Washington territory. 17-yard pass play. Bradford has gone over 300 yards with that completion to Aguilar. Second catch of the day for the rookie. It's Ertz again. And a flag down at the 46. Kyshawn Jarrett with the tackle. 7-yard pickup. Will it stand for Ertz?
Illegal shift. 2 men moving and not resetting on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It will not. Down to 6:34 remaining.
Eagles have had their miscues throughout the entire night, whether it be drop passes, fumbles, missed open wide receiver, drop touchdowns, or untimely penalties as well.
And on cue, Kenyon Barner. Philadelphia went 10-6 in Chip Kelly's first season, made the playoffs. 10-6 in Kelly's second season, missed on a playoff berth after a damaging loss to Washington week 16 a year ago. 27-24. Sanchez in that game started, went for 374 yards. Zach Ertz with another grab. And he is piling on the numbers. That's 8 yards for Ertz, 114 on the night, 12 catches.
I understand you want to be smart with the football, but at some point in time you got to try pushing it up the field as well.
You just don't feel the sense of urgency down 21 points. We're under 6 minutes to go now. Bradford steps up and throws on the move. It's too low. Jordan Matthews, the intended receiver. Normally this is an offense just in the middle of the first quarter that operates with a sense of urgency.
Well, they've had 9 plays on this drive, over 3 minutes. When you think you're 3 scores down there, like you said, Ian, just the tempo's got to be up. Now you're faced with a 4th down.
Dennis Kelly was limping on that play. He's been in at left tackle for Jason Peters. So a 4th and 7. Bradford probably could have run for the first down on that last play. From the 35. On 4th down, it's caught by Matthews. And he's caught from behind at the 12 by Goldson.
And how they were able to squeeze this in. Sam Bradford showing some arm strength here, getting it into the coverage. Redskins rush 3, drop 8 into coverage, and Matthews is able to find a crease in that zone.
On first down, Bradford from behind. Ball gets knocked away and scooped up by Jason Kelsey. Always fun when the big fellas get the football in their arms.
Here's something for the crowd to cheer about a little bit as they got fired up after big old Kelsey picking it up and running with it.
Preston Smith with the chop down on Bradford. Kelsey, who walked on in college at Cincinnati as a linebacker. Second down, Bradford back of the end zone, off the hand of Ertz, incomplete. 4:40 left in the fourth.
Bradford putting a little zip on this, trying to hit Ertz in the back line of the end zone.
So now 3rd and 7. Bradford has put the ball up 46 times tonight. No touchdowns, no picks. On 3rd down, Bradford underneath. Matthews curling to the pylon. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
They've lived on those most of the night, the crossing routes and drags underneath. That time's Matthews on it once again. From the pylon camera as we see Matthews take it in, foot getting in across the goal line.
That's really been a nice addition. The pylon cam this year, giving you a different perspective. I think that will be a staple from here on out. Well, just how big was that last Washington drive to create some breathing room? Philadelphia facing an uphill climb at home against the Redskins. Tonight's Skycam is wet, and it's being presented by Mazda. Here in Philadelphia, time is running out. Onside kick attempt, and that was very easy for the Hands team. Pierre Garçon there for Washington. 4:33 left. And for the Washington Redskins and their fans, unexpected, I think, this season, considering all of the chatter before the season started for the quarterback position. RG3 and Kirk Cousins. Colt McCoy wanted an opportunity. A win tonight, they will join the 600 club. Most wins all time, including the postseason, the Bears, the Packers, the Giants, and the Steelers. Robert Griffin III took this league by storm in his rookie year, 2012. That's when the Redskins last made the playoffs. But deteriorated play, combined with injuries, the Redskins decided to go in a different direction. And Robert Griffin III has been 3rd string this season for Washington. Thursday Night Football Saturday edition is delivered by Papa John's. 2 large 2-topping pizzas for just $7.77 each. Everyone will love that. And by Cialis. Washington Redskins 4 minutes and 28 seconds away from taking the division title. Got the football at the 49-yard line of Philadelphia. 2nd and 7 here for the Redskins. Reed, the motion man, big numbers for him. 9 catches, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Little dance from Morris. Going to the outside, brought down by Kiko Alonso, the former Buffalo Bill. And a 3-yard pickup. Timeout is called. That's it for timeouts for the Eagles. The run to the playoffs is on, and NFL Network is your home for the most playoff coverage anywhere, every day, all the way through Super Bowl 50. NFL Network, your home for the NFL playoffs. Well, the New York Giants fans were taking a keen interest in this game tonight. Giants needed a Philadelphia win in order to stay alive with their playoff hopes. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Trent Williams is taking a very slow limp to the Washington sideline. Ty Nseki will step in for him. Remember, they were already banged up on the offensive line with Moses and Laribas, both question marks this week. 3rd and 4 for Washington. Morris the single setback. They give it to Morris. Comes up short of the first down. Needed 4, got 2.
Well, as this game winds down and we start figuring out the directions of both these teams, how many changes are going to be made for the Eagles coming this offseason? You ultimately have to decide, is Bradford your long-term answer? Do you want to re-sign him to an extension and have him here? Chip Kelly has that decision to make, and then obviously Bradford from his side, he has to decide if this is the offense and the team that he wants to fit in, because there are teams out there that are quarterback needy.
There are always teams looking for quarterbacks. That's the one commodity that will always be a need around the NFL.
Well, Ryan, you just brought up, we were showing Robert Griffin III, and where is he going to have an option or an opportunity to play next year? It's certainly with the way Cousins is playing. Delay a game on the Redskins. Certainly he's going to have an opportunity with another team when you look at what his cap number will be for next year, and with the play of Kirk Cousins this last 9 weeks especially, and winning the division, obviously looks like that's the direction, and they have to re-sign him. So you got a couple quarterbacks that are in limbo, but 2 different teams handling those situations and moving forward.
It's a reminder of how quickly things can change in this league. RG3, Colin Kaepernick, who had brought his team to a Super Bowl, and he'll be looking for a new team once the offseason hits. You know, that position, it fluctuates. It's fluid.
Yep. It's, you know, you look at Bradford, he was NFL Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2010. Robert Griffin III was NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2012. Bradford obviously moved on to a different team. It looks like Robert Griffin III is going to be moving on to a different team. So it changes. This league is continually moving as coaches changes, as offensive coordinators change, with the obviously bringing on free agency, teams moving around. But quarterback is that key position, and you need to find, as a quarterback, you need to find the system that works for you, but as an organization, you've got to find that quarterback that works for you as well.
Only chance for Philadelphia. They have to score quickly and then get an onside kick. It's a quick hitter to Jordan Matthews. Picks up 6 yards. We're down to 3:07 remaining. Philadelphia has no timeouts left. They'll have the 2-minute warning to stop the clock on a 2nd and 4 now for the Eagles. Bradford knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Chris Baker, who has been back in there after being shaken up earlier in the quarter.
The Redskins defensively have done a good job. Yes, Bradford has some impressive numbers, 32 of 49, 347 and a touchdown. But if you look at what they've been able to do, what the Redskins have been able to do defensively is keep everybody under 20 yards receiving. Only one reception tonight has been over 20 yards, and that was a 43-yarder to Matthews.
Swing it out to Sproles. Splits defenders and still going. Down the sideline, out of bounds. So the catch and run for Sproles goes for 14, 2:49 left in the 4th.
You can see the blocking going on the outside. Matthews is already blocking up the field. That was a set play.
And they feed it to Sproles again. Breland over there. Washington backing off, allowing those short gains, but they don't want to give up the big one. Bradford now 34 of 51, 367 yards and a touchdown. Kirk Cousins 31 of 46, 365, 4 touchdowns. Another completion. Once again, it's Zach Ertz. Joe Barry, defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins. In his first year running the D, former defensive coordinator in Detroit back in 07 and 08. From the 46, Bradford brought down. Bradford could not break free of Jason Hatcher with a flag down.
They're going to get a face mask call.
Hatcher had a sack last week, his first since week 1. And a clear grab.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, number 97, defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
It started on the shoulder, eventually made its way to the face mask against the veteran Hatcher.
And now the Eagles will be able to get another snap off before the 2-minute warning.
2:14 to play. Eagles now have it at the Washington 31. 14-point differential. Catch. Barner brought down. Ricky Jean-Francois sniffing that one out. It's a loss of 7 on the play, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning here in Philly. Washington trying to close it out. 38-24. The Redskins in front of the Eagles. 2 minutes to play. Coming up next, it's the Mazda postgame show. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game, and Kirk Cousins will be on the set. That's coming up on the Mazda postgame show. Philadelphia out of timeouts. 2 minutes to play. Kirk Cousins and Sam Bradford on the next pass will have combined for 100 passes tonight. Right up your alley, Trent.
Perfect game, right? Just what you'd think when it's late December. It's raining. You wouldn't think Philadelphia you're going to have 100 pass attempts when this was first put on the schedule, but both these offenses are thriving in the passing game right now.
Well, Philadelphia looking for rhythm on offense. This guy clearly has some. 2 minutes to go. 2nd and 17 for Philly. Barner remains in there, and Bradford will throw underneath to Jordan Matthews. Matthews gets hit at the 26-yard line. We've got 1:51 and counting left in the 4th quarter. That's a 12-yard pickup. Low snap. Bradford recovers, tosses. It's dropped. Barner's had a couple of them.
They still need to get into the end zone and get the onside kick. Barner once again just looking upfield before securing the ball.
And now it's 4th and 5. Last gasp for Philly. Ricochet. Incomplete. And it's over. The Washington Redskins, 1:34 away from an NFC East title.
Well, and if you look at what the Redskins have been able to do, they were 1-5 on the road coming into this game, but that one win was their last road game. So now back-to-back road wins to help clinch this division. They'll have one more wrapping it up in Dallas.
And the celebration begins on that Washington sideline.
Well, as you know, Ian, you've been around this long enough, and you can go into the playoffs. You may not have had the best season, but all of a sudden you get into a rhythm. You get into a confidence mode. You have a quarterback that believes. You have a team that believes in that quarterback and in the system and in what Coach Gruden is trying to get accomplished. And it doesn't matter what your record is. It's getting in to the playoffs and getting in with the right frame of mind. And right now the Redskins are heading that way.
And this is where Cousins does want to take the knee. Doesn't want to spike it. Just take the knee. Coming up, Mazda postgame show, interviews, analysis. Kirk Cousins will be on the set on the Mazda postgame show. Huge play defensively on the fumble recovery and touchdown, D'Angelo Hall. Jay Gruden, he took out the preseason predictions and showed the team that they were picked to finish as the 30th team in the league, 31st team in the league, just as a little added motivation this week to remind them what people thought of the team before the year started and what they've accomplished this year, including their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Captain Kirk with a breakthrough season for Washington.
And that could be a great motivator for not only for a football team, but for a quarterback. You get a chip on your shoulder and you want to prove people wrong. And yeah, it wasn't the prettiest early in the season, but now they've gotten it rolling.
Cousins takes the knee. Washington wins the NFC East. The Redskins are going back to the playoffs. They get it done on the road, 38-24 over the Philadelphia Eagles. 2015 NFC East champions, their first division title in 3 years. Yes, it was a roller coaster ride in the NFC East this year, but as the smoke is cleared, Washington emerges. The Redskins 8-7. Philadelphia falls to 6-9. Washington, champions in the NFC East. Panthers still undefeated. Cardinals with a fantastic season. And the Green Bay Packers at 10-4. Seattle and Minnesota currently occupying the wild card spots. Downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Here with Deshaun Jackson.
Keep doing your thing, brother. You already know. Yep, keep doing your thing.
Deshaun, you enjoyed this one for the final quarter. I could see you waving to the crowd, celebrating with your teammates. What's it mean to clinch this division at a place where you started your career?
I mean, honestly, you know, I don't know why the fans hate me so much here. I mean, it wasn't my decision, you know, for them to let me go. You know, I did nothing but great things in this city, in this community, played my heart out on this field. But, you know, man, it can't be no other better way than to get a win here, you know, and send them home for the second year in a row, man. That's a great feeling for my team. You know, numbers, stats, I could care less about that today. Like I told my team, as long as we get that win, you know, that's all that matters today.
This first half ended very oddly for this offense. What's it say about this group, that unit, that you were able to respond in that third quarter and really put this game out of hand?
I mean, it speaks, you know, for the, you know, the hard work we all put in since the OTAs, man. You know, since day one, no one never gave us the respect. No one ever, you know, believed in us. And, you know, I'm just happy that my boys did it. And like I said, today was one of them days where I knew they wasn't going to let me take the top off. You know, every play, deep ball we called today, they had somebody back deep. But, you know, Jordan Reed, he played his butt off, and he had over, 100 yards, and he did his thing. He played big for us tonight, so we needed that.
How is this year going to be different for the Washington Redskins?
I mean, it's going to be great, man. You know, this year we made it to the playoffs, man. Like I said, this is something that nobody believed in us. They said we couldn't do it, and we have another opportunity. We have another game. We locked in the seed. You know, we NFC champs, man. Come on, don't get no better than this. In Washington, baby, let's get it.
Enjoy it, my man.
All right, appreciate y'all. Much love.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. Deshaun Jackson and the Washington Redskins with the victory in Philly. 38-24, the final. The stakes were high tonight in Philadelphia. The Redskins come through. The Mazda postgame show is coming up. So for Trent Green, Evan Washburn, Mike Carey, and the rest of our crew, Ian Eagle saying so long from Philly. You've been watching Thursday Night Football, Saturday edition.